to the Australian Dota 2 Premiership. We're both from Clutch Gaming here, presenting you the stream. I am Cacti King Jared, and this is Daryl Spooderman. Good to have you with us here tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Beardman and Francine versus the One Dream One Team match tonight. I'll probably say tonight a few dozen times. Spoons.
Yes.
What do you find about this? You know, I'll say from our Clutch Gaming side, we've versed Beardman and Francine, and unfortunately we came worse off for it. But Spoons was in this game. How did you find them play?
Yeah, high level of play throughout the entire game, really. Yeah, they're some of the best players in the Australia-New Zealand scene. Yes. So, it was, I guess not surprising that we walked away with disastrous results.
Yes, but like I said, let me just look at their Dota buff on their actual professional league stats. They're 85% win rate, something like that at the moment. Yeah. And yeah, at the moment they are doing very well in the Australian Dota 2 tournament as well, even the previous one. And tonight, we don't know too much about the other team, the One Dream One team, but hoping we can actually fix that tonight. Hopefully we see a good game between some two high-level teams, and got some good Dota that our friends can cast on. Other big changes, or not too much, and just in Dota in general, is that we had a big patch coming out due to the Shanghai Majors. If anybody's interested, the new compendium is coming out. Apparently, first reports are that it's better than the old ones. You've got better stuff for it, but not really sure why I'm actually promoting a compendium right now. But if that's your thing, go for it.
You're not gonna get a free one just from saying those things.
Come on, Val, send me a free compendium. No. We'll probably have to end up doing some 1v1s. Do that for you later.
Oh, yeah.
1v1
yeah. All right.
Compendium alone. You guys watch. Alrighty. Other than that, the game should be going live pretty soon. From what I've heard, they're already in the lobby stage. And we'll be passing it over to Mr. Wandering Bear and our good man who's usually on the analyst desk with us tonight, but he's actually going to be casting Mads. So we'll let you guys know when it comes live. But for the moment, we're probably just going to continue having a yarn about this new compendium on the Shanghai Majors. Hopefully we're a bit of a new team on the casting side of it. But we do hope to be able to cast some of these games coming up to the Shanghai Majors and getting a little bit of more of that, New Zealand Australian flavour to it. We do have Toby One, basically the only Australian that anyone knows, but no New Zealanders. We can get in on that scene.
You do have your local Malini. So.
Yes, this is our local Malini here. But
yeah, I mean,
anything else? We've had a big patch today as well, 500 megs for the Dota client. Not too much in it, just mostly because minutes. But yeah.
I find it interesting how Invoker was always prior to 6.86, he was a strong but not necessarily overpowered hero. But they decided to buff him and just elevate his status to first ban in every captain's draft game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Captain's mode game.
What do you reckon of the previous, just in the last patch of nerfs? I mean, we've talked about it a little bit before. An agility nerf, 6 points there, and also the increased mana cost on his Deafening Blast, which it's going to affect him the whole way through. Definitely cutting it down early game and how he can use it. But yeah, despite that, he's still a very strong pick.
You still see him just getting first banned. I mean, or banned in the first ban phase, or first picked by the.
So he's just such a versatile hero. I mean, in the hands of a competent player, he can fulfill a whole lot of roles. He's got a bit of presence as well. I mean, if he's good at dropping a Sunstrike and a gank, whatnot, gives him a little bit of assist gold. And he can just ramp his way up. Just become a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm quite curious as to why Ice Frog decided to make those changes.
Hey, look, if we can predict what Ice Frog wanted to do, if we could read his mind, man, we would be the best casters imaginable. But unfortunately, we don't know what he's going to come out with. Generally speaking, it's usually good for the, obviously good for the competitive circuit. That's what it's doing it all for. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so some say he was high while he designed 6.86.
It's definitely a change. I mean, the biggest change for me for the new patch is the new items. You know, he's started to add in stuff. You know, extra attack range. You know, extra cast range. The new rune. We're seeing cooldown reductions coming in. You know, that's stuff that previously wasn't in the game before. Which is it's good, but I feel like he's possibly being a little bit influenced from other games in the MOBA genre. You know, all right. Well, we just got a report that we're almost ready for the game. 2 minutes away. Anyways, and I was saying, I still feel like Archrog's being influenced a little bit by perhaps even the other MOBA genres like League of Legends, or Heroes of New Earth. Just the small things, because obviously when you've got different games of the same genre, people are going to do stuff right in the game, and they're going to do stuff wrong. So I mean, for him, it might be good to pull some stuff from it, but I just don't want to see DotA lose its, you know, its uniqueness. You know, I don't want to see, you know, that's just a personal thought. That's all.
Definitely. You know, speaking of other MOBAs, so DotA has actually been changing over the past, you know, for some time now.
Oh yeah, I mean,
for the meta has shifted towards more team fighting.
Yeah, no, definitely more gang centric.
Yeah, with the, you know, reduction to gold from creeps, and you know, the changes to spells, giving them shorter cooldowns and items, things like that. So this is a very obvious shift away from, you know, the DotA one of like the DotA of 10 years ago.
Yeah, well,
you know,
the 4 protects one.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have your Medusa or something, you'd have 4 people protecting them, it'd go for ages, and then just
Yeah, so like I definitely miss that.
Being a Spectre player, you would
very much. Well, what are your what are your thoughts on it? You know, how do you?
I mean, I quite like it. I mean, I predominantly play in mid position when I am playing, and I love the fact that it is getting more gang centric. I mean, as a mid player, you want to be getting out and about and helping your team out.
Yeah.
You know, the early games, of course, getting the levels and whatnot, but being a mid lane, you're always big in the gangs. You know, if they don't realise you're missing, you know, or just going for a run and whatnot, you know. And I love it. You get more out of it. It's more rewarding, and it's not so much isolated to the lanes anymore. So, personally, I like the more gang centric. Moving away from those big carries. Like as for you, I mean the Spectres, the Medusas, the anti mages, all those sort of things used to be back in the day. Used to be prime. You know, well, I mean it's still not bad now. Spectre definitely seen a resurgence. How do you feel about that? You know, because he used to play Spectre before he got buffs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Before he became mega popular as he is today.
Yeah.
How do you find that? Do you find it's hard that, you know?
Definitely hard as in he gets picked more in ranked games.
Oh, so you
Yeah. One interesting thing I did notice was that on Dota buff, so the heroes with the top 2 win rates across all brackets are Omni Knight, followed by Spectre. They're both sitting at 60 point something %.
Well, there you go. You've probably contributed to that, haven't you? What's your win rate with Spectre?
65.
Yeah, there you go.
But with those win rates, they actually have like a very low pick rate across all brackets.
Yep.
So that was something I found very interesting.
Cool. Alright guys, we just got the notice that we've got 30 seconds left before we're going to cut over to the game, where Mads and A Wandering Bear will be streaming for them. We'll be back after the game to just discuss on what we've seen and what's going to happen. But hope you guys are all ready for the Beardman versus Francine versus One Dream One Team, and hopefully we've got some exciting Dota coming here tonight. Radio. This is Cacti King and Spiderman signing off, and we will see you guys after the game.
Alright, what is up, Dota people? Welcome to this exciting game from the Australian Dota 2 Premiership between One Dream, One Team and Lord Darcy, also known as Beardman and Francine. I am Wandering Beer, and I'm here casting today with my co-caster Mance. Say hello, Mance.
Hey Bear, how you going? It's good to be here.
Not too bad. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. First part of the upper bracket in the Premiership Pro League, and I believe $1,000 on the line.
Radiant
Is that correct?
team ban.
The prize pool indeed is 1,000. So that's going to be split between the first three places. So now that we're in the Pro Division, we're going to be seeing a lot more competition as
Dire
it gets
team
more heated
ban.
towards the end here.
Well, that is fantastic to hear, and a very big, decent prize pool for this region. Going into the game, I can see we're starting out with bans here from Oracle on the One Dream, One Team, and Tusk. I mean, One Dream, One Team
10
banning Oracle, a
seconds
hero who's only
remaining.
entered the draft fairly recently. How are you feeling about this? What do you think they're looking
5
to remove
seconds
there from
remaining.
their Oracle?
Oracle's just such a hard hero to play against, especially in the
Reserve
laning
time.
phase. His ability to save, if he's in the
Radiant
safe
team ban.
lane, his ability to save the carry is, almost second to none. It's better than Dazzle, I would say, a lot of the time, especially once he hits 6 there. But so I think they just want to probably secure the laning stage. Obviously, they've banned
10
Nightstalker here as
seconds
well, so maybe
remaining.
that could be something that they are worried about.
5 seconds remaining.
They're trying to get a strength in the early games so they can make those wins. I mean, Oracle
Reserve
obviously very
time.
strong hero, also able to purge a lot of debuffs and buffs from people. So they'd be looking at running one of those compositions that have very reliant on buffs or anything like that. But yet to see, Beardman and Francine, or Lord Darcy as they're currently named, obviously banning out Tusk there. Pretty standard there. A very obvious ban from Tusk. Very strong hero lately. Snowball able to get you out of tricky situations, bite a stun, get your team in, Walrus Punch, huge amounts of CC there. And otherwise, just like a very difficult hero to deal with.
Yeah, he just provides so much utility throughout the entire game. He's hard to let through, even with the nerfs that he got. Some people argue they were a little bit too small for how good he was previously anyway. So, but he's still getting banned and prioritized this early in the game. So
yeah, and I mean, looking at these teams, I definitely can't see a history here of much Tusk players. I looked through their history of games in the last little while, but potentially see it coming up. Sure.
Yeah, we've seen these two teams play. I believe in the group stages, they played against each other, and I believe Beardman and Francine actually came out on top of that one in both games. They played against each other. That was recently, so there's a little bit of history between these teams, and I'm sure with the player pool and the Australian
Dire
scene,
team pick.
I'm sure these guys have run into each other plenty of times, so they probably know roughly what they're up against there. So with the ban on the Gyro, he's one of those early game carries you just want to get out.
Radiant team
Yeah, I mean,
pick.
it looks like both teams here are locking in for a pretty long fight. One Dream, One Team, they're picking up Invoker first, very strong hero this patch, with Alacrity just being such an incredibly strong skill. The laning phase, and also getting Invoker at level 1 being very big for him.
There's
Radiant
the Death
team
Prophet as
pick.
well. This has been extremely strong, especially with Beardman and Francine. I know DotA actually plays this hero to great success. They recently won the Corrupted Cup tournament, and this was one of their go-to heroes. He performed extremely well on this hero, so it's going to be tough lane stage and all-around game, I think, for One Dream, One Team here, leading that one through.
10
Yeah,
seconds
absolutely.
remaining.
I mean, it's very interesting middle lane there, though. Obviously, Death Prophet, an incredibly strong mid laner with the new addition there of her Soul
Dire
Siphon, but
team
Invoker in response, a very strong middle, as well as we see Disruptor come out from Beardman and Francine. A very powerful support, especially with the glimpse there. Definitely able to shut down Invoker very well, with that Static Storm bringing out a large silence, and potentially, if he does go for an egg, silence as well.
Yeah, this may be a pick that they've planned, because they've obviously let the Invoker through, so this
10
might be
seconds
something
remaining.
to be able to shut him down, because if Disruptor does rotate
5
early, or he
seconds
does
remaining.
stick around the middle lane, we might see him pressure that Invoker a lot, because he's a dangerous hero
Reserve
early
time.
on, the Disruptor.
Absolutely. I mean, a hero who definitely with Lightning Strike 2 can provide a lot of harass there. He's got a very great range on his auto attack and quite a nice animation, so definitely able to harass him. throw a few attacks at him, and obviously with both Glimpse and Geek Field, very talented at ganking or coming in there to hit on them. As One Dream, One Team pick up Bane, very fascinating hero Bane. I mean, able to Nightmare one hero, shut them down out of the fight while he Fiends grips the other one, taking 2 heroes effectively out of the fight. And if he really wants to, he can even throw down that weakness onto another hero and significantly reduce their auto attack damage. So a pretty hard situation for a Bedman and front scene to pick any kind of carry who can deal with this. I mean, what do you think they're looking to do against this Bane here?
5 seconds remaining.
I know that they like to run the Jug in the safe lane. I think one of their heroes, one of their team, I think it's X-Rag, is actually a Jug player, so we might see that picked here. Although the Bane is fairly good all-round pick again. He's fairly safe to pick early on, like we've seen here in the first phase, essentially. So
10 seconds
I don't know if it's a direct counter to anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it does make it very difficult to play into, though. As we see, One Dream, One Team there banning out both Sylvia and Broodmother, saying not today on that rat offlane. While Bedman and Francine responding with a ban on the Darkseer, which obviously, I mean, if they're looking to remove Darkseer, Tusk, they've also removed Gyrocopter and Undying there. Both teams obviously moving towards a kind of longer game, but also it looks like Bedman and Francine are really trying to discourage any sort of strong team fight. And with heroes like Death Prophet and Disruptor, that strong team fight is definitely going to be on their side. So One Dream, One Team definitely going to have their work cut out for them. Just wait for that next pick there from Beardman and Francine. See what they're going to be doing with their time.
Remaining.
Yeah, Beardman and Francine, I have to wonder who they're going to pick for the offlane when you look at these picks. I mean, Undying, Darkseer, Tusk, all potential offlane heroes who have been locked out.
Remaining.
So maybe their safe lane's going to be a little bit interesting.
5 seconds remaining.
Josh was just sorting out some mic issues. Hopefully I'm a little bit louder now.
Just chatting away to myself here. As we see Skywrath Mage come out from Beardman and Francine, another very strong, very aggressive hero with that Sigil of Silence, or Arcane Sigil I believe it is, able to shut down the Invoker once again. We see a second form of silence. Up to Skywrath Mage ganks on the middle lane could be very threatening if they both are playing courts, which I would expect as much of.
Yeah.
Also just a huge amount of damage coming out from Skywrath Mage, and very interesting builds coming out from lately too, as we see Aether Lens becoming much more popular and able to throw huge arcane bolts over very long distances and homing them down.
Reserve time.
Just on these picks here, I think what I'd like to see from One Dream, One Team is possibly like a clockwork, because these heroes that Beardman and Francine have picked up aren't extremely mobile, especially the Disruptor, the Death Prophet. She's not completely mobile. If you do lock her in, she can get in trouble quickly. So with the Bane coupled with maybe another strong ganker, and there it is, clockwork. So yeah, maybe they are going for that sort of aggression ganking sort of lineup.
Definitely, I mean, an Invoker, another hero who's able to support that with Sunstrikes while still managing to get his farm off. Clockwork able to hook in, and Bane able to assist there with relatively good range on almost all of his skills. It's now up to, Beardman and Francine to respond to this. I mean, it seems relatively clear that they are looking to get that kind of ganking lineup. And One Dream, One Team, definitely a history of ganking lineup. I mean, heroes like Quap, Windranger, Tusk, all very popular for them. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. As Bedman and Francine responds there with a Sven, a very, very strong carry. Don't think they have much of a history on him. Have you seen any history of them when you've been looking through that history there?
This is a bit of the outside the box pick. Although we have seen this being played a bit more as late, but I did expect them to go for something more along the lines of the Juggernaut here. But it's definitely an interesting pick. Do you think there's any particular reason they've gone for the Sven here?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at this, and if we look at our earlier analysis, Death Prophet, Disrupt, both strong teamfight heroes. Skywrath Mage is a decent big game counter to Invoker, able to silence him, shut him down from casting, and still with a decent amount of damage. And Mystic Flare, also a decent teamfight skill, though you don't want to land it on too many heroes. I mean, Sven just fits right into this this mid to late game fighting composition here. Cleave doing a huge amount of damage across the board, and Storm
10 seconds
Storm
remaining.
Fist or Storm Hammer or whatever it is, his massive AoE stun, very
5
strong
seconds
to lock down a
remaining.
team, along with the battle cry to speed them up, give them some armor. I mean, they're looking like a very strong
Reserve
team fight
time.
composition. It's One Dream, they're obviously picking up the Spirit Breaker, another very strong ganking hero, able to jump all across the map and provide a huge global presence there. A hero that you're particularly experienced with,
Radiant
Mads.
team
Any
pick.
opinions on this?
Yeah, I do like my Spirit Breaker. I think he just falls into what we were talking about before. They want to be obviously pulling off the charges, getting that hero in their sights, and then probably following up with the Clockwork Hook. Because once you've got them locked in there, and then you've got Spirit Breaker coming in to back you up, Invoker sitting in the back lines, I think that's probably the combo we're going to look to see. And you can
10
also set that
seconds
up with a
remaining.
Bane Nightmare as well. So
Absolutely.
we're definitely they're looking for more of the pick-off
Dire
rather than
team
the
pick.
straight 5v5 team fights that it looks like Bedman and Francine are trying to go for at this stage.
Absolutely, and I mean, in the meantime, we see a ban there on Phoenix, another relatively strong offlaner who can do a pretty good job of surviving any of these kind of ganks from One Dream One Team, whilst Bedman and Francine banning out Quap, a hero that One Dream One Team has quite a history with. It's a slightly interesting ban, because I'm pretty confident that the Invoker would be in the middle lane,
10
looking to fight against that
seconds
Death Prophet, and I don't think Quap would do too well against the Death Prophet.
Yeah, I
Truth be
agree
told, but
there.
they could have
5
put her...
seconds
They
remaining.
definitely could have put her in the safe lane. Safe lane Quap, definitely not an unprecedented thing. Would have provided a huge
Reserve
bit of push
time.
in team fight presence as they go around. And Quap, again, another great hero, able to blink around, provide a lot of global support there. To move around. So maybe just looking to kind of put One Dream One Team off balance from what they're commonly playing. As they pick a Batrider into that, obviously going to be taking the off lane. So we see a pretty clear lane structure here. Batrider recently buffed to have 3 health per second regeneration. So very strong hero. And we look to see what One Dream One Team will respond with. Probably looking to see a hard carry position here, position 1. But what do you think we're going to be seeing coming out from them?
That's a good question. I mean, with their lineup, I mean, I'd like to see a Spectre actually here.
10
I think
seconds
just his
remaining.
ability to jump in and follow up on these ganks and pull up quick, easy kills would be
seconds
great.
remaining.
But I doubt we'll see that pick. But here, Slark. There you go. So another good roaming. A roaming ganking hero. So we're going to see a lot of this coming out from One Dream One Team this game. We'll have to see if they can pull it off. We know this team of Bedman and Francine plays extremely well, so it is going to be tough to play this sort of style against them.
Definitely, I mean, Slark is super strong hero. I would be left alone eventually in the same lane with relative impunity and quickly rotate through the jungle and the lane to get a huge amount of farm using that passive was not seen to heal up. Slark does have a history between One Dream One Team and Bedman and Francine being played in their second game, one of the closer games of their match, which they immediately afterwards lost and went 2-0 against Bedman and Francine, 0-2 as it were. But definitely have played before and are comfortable with, so let's see if they can change their fate to the Slark or Bedman and Francine and just going to beat it down again as we step.
I also like the Slark pick against the lockdown that Bedman and Francine have, purely because he can debuff a lot of their abilities like the silence as long as he gets his dark packed off before that happens.
Absolutely, I mean Death Pack being a very strong skill, able to purge any CCs if you can actually see them coming, or predict them coming, or even just like throw it down and suddenly they can't see for a little bit. Very rapidly, very strong. So we have a brief pause here. Not quite sure what for.
I think this could be anything really. We might even see a DC here. You never really know. But I mean, it gives both teams time to sort of talk up what they want to try and do in the first few minutes of the game here. And we've got the G coming out from elusively on the Spirit Breaker there.
So just to recap, on the side of Lord Darcy, or Bedman and Francine, they're also known. We see a Batrider, most likely in the off lane. The Death Prophet there, probably looking to go mid, along with Sven, Disruptor, and Skywrath Mage. They're going bot, although Skywrath Oh no, looks like they're actually doing the complete opposite way with Spin Disruptor and Skywrath Mage going to the top lane, looking to be an aggressive tri-lane, while Batrider takes the safe lane for that quick farm, and the Death Prophet taking the middle lane. Opposite, we see obviously the Clockwork going onto the off lane there. Probably looking to see the Invoker in the middle lane with Slark Bane going to the top, and a roaming Spirit Breaker, I'd say, to guess, but it's very hard to say at this stage.
Yeah, that's generally what your Spirit Breakers want to do, at least in the first few levels, is just secure the lanes, possibly your mid. You might see him hanging around there a little bit.
30
Looks like
seconds
both
to
teams
battle.
at this stage. Batrider might try and steal this room bot, but he's going to be in trouble, I think, if he does, especially with the Bane there. But both teams have taken their side, so there shouldn't be too much action here.
Does have Clockwork walking down there, and it does kind of urge him to back off, but obviously, I mean, Clockwork, Invoker, Bane, Spirit Breakers, and
do you think he'll go for this?
The battle
begins. He hasn't skilled yet. He hasn't skilled the Firefly, so we'll have to see.
He's just
I
going to
think
let it go.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best choice on his behalf too. So, one team each getting a rune there, one for one rune, one team, and one for Lord Darcy. Move off into the laning phase. We see middle lane looking pretty chill. The Spirit Breaker just kind of meandering around there with the ward in place now.
So
the fighting starts.
What do you think of this aggressive tri-lane here from Birdman and Francine?
Yeah, I mean, this could be terrible. It could be great. I mean, I see they've already rotated the Clockwork for seeing what's happening there with a nice scout. So not going to be too much of a problem. But as we see the Disruptor throwing down a Lightning Strike and just starting to hit the Clockwork along with a Arcane Bolt there from Skywrath Mage. Pressing him back, and he's already down to just over 200 health. In a very awkward situation. As the Spirit Breaker on the bottom rotates around, looking to go in potentially. This Batrider puts down a lot of napalm, but the Spirit Breaker's coming in. And this could be disastrous for the Batrider as the charge of darkness goes off. But I don't want to get any bashes there, and
well, I think he's still level 1, so yeah, he doesn't actually have the bash skills, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just being a little aggressive, trying to let the bat know not to stick his neck out too far.
Absolutely, and I mean it could have been quite an interesting situation too if the Slark had been able to get a leap, though. That could have definitely been a potential kill. With Bane already having the brain sap there, would do quite a bit of damage for a level 1 skill. In the middle lane there, we see Death Prophet just getting a bit aggressive on the Invoker, throwing down a life drain, but taking a lot of tower hits there for that. And I'm not sure if it's worth it, though. She does have a self, which she carried out to herself earlier. So definitely a hard lane for her. If we look to the stats there, we can see she is ahead 9-3 to Invoker's 6-0, so 3 extra last hits there, and no denies from Invoker as she continues to take.
Yeah, with Invoker's limited wave clear against Death Prophet, it's going to be quite hard for him to lane against her without some help. So it looks like they have sent the Bane here, realizing it wasn't doing a whole lot bottom.
And I mean, Bane grabbing that bounty rune on the way up too, which is great for him, while Skywrath grabbing a regeneration on top, just able to push the strength of that aggressive tri-lane a little bit more against this Clockwork.
First blood.
Clock actually has rotated bottom.
I've been wanting to
They
say
pulled
that
up a kill on the
since this
Batrider,
all
but
began.
Slark may pay for this with his life. Looks like he
Yep,
will
and
be
there goes
going
the
down.
Arcane put out on the
he's
Slark,
got
but a self
the
coming
healing
out
cell.
nice and timely.
And a timely
That
bash
could be
there
enough.
from the Spirit Breaker.
Can get any more? No, back away. But a kill on the Batter on bot lane there, so that's definitely a very, very strong start for them. Giving first blood to Slark as Death Prophet continues to fight away. We see a soul sap going down on there.
Bane a little
Bane down, potentially be a
aggressive
kill.
here.
Not, or it could be.
Oh, and he
yes.
goes down.
Long
What a
range,
play from Godot there.
Oh, but here's the Sunstrike, slightly off, and Godot taking a kill in mid there, free on the Bane. Definitely a very awkward position for this Cloak, and now Death Prophet, already a strong laner, able to harass down these targets, and now with a kill up and a lot of CS on the Invoker here, we see.
Yeah, I would have liked to see the Invoker do the cold snap earlier. I'm not sure if he had it. I think he did, so he could have saved the life of the Bane there. But it's really hard to tell how much damage the. I mean, you really underestimate how much damage the Death Prophet can put out early on.
Absolutely. On the top lane, we see Clockwork and the Disruptor going in, Clockwork cogging him in, but a quick
nice
glimpse
glimpse
there,
there.
almost getting a kill. Oh, and the Cogs finishing him off after the Sunstrike, securing a kill on the Disruptor there. It's on the bottom lane, we see Spirit Breaker going in with a charge. Rider comes in and silences the Skywrath Rage. They try to escape, but can Rider turn this into any kind of kill as the Skywrath Mage goes down. He's hunting the Bane. A lot of stacks sticky napalm there, but the Nightmare going down, and they are going to be able to safely escape. Although Spirit Breaker wanting some more goes in with a charge of darkness. As Disruptor rotates out, is Disruptor going to get some kills here perhaps? As he tries to convert any of this into something that's not totally failure.
Yeah, Dream playing this bottom lane extremely well so far.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Bedman and Francine have rotated heroes down here, but it's really just given them more heroes to kill at this point. Middle lane.
Definitely, but in the mid lane,
Invoker.
we see the Death Prophet going in on Invoker. Diving behind the tower, but getting and backing away as Invoker goes to half health. Bane comes in with a quick brain set, but not really able to do anything at half health himself.
Yeah, that must be a level 1 brain set. It barely tickled Godot there on the Death Prophet.
Level 2 brain set, but definitely a very tanky hero. I'm going to take a lot of hits and having quite a high health.
So if you're looking at the safe laners, well, I mean, like you're playing in the off lane, but position ones, I guess you would call them. Who do you think's winning here?
Well, when we look to the creep scores, we see Slark with 23-9 to Sven's 31-11, but alternatively we also see Slark with 2 kills. So definitely in a very difficult position for Sven here. I mean, he has a pretty good lane. He's had a lot of space to farm and definitely is taking great use of it, but it is still difficult when the Slark is getting kills on your off lane there, and a very timely ward we see there is giving him a great position as we potentially see 2 rotations around and a smoke coming out from both the Bane and the Spirit Breaker looking to get this Death Prophet. Spirit Breaker, Charge of Darkness coming down, and the Evoker's looking to move in, Bane moving up as well. Darkness comes in, the Cold Snap, knocking him perfectly into the Sunstrike, but the Sap finishing him off before the Sunstrike's even needed.
Yeah, great gank there from Dream. Godot playing up very aggressively, and he's definitely paid for it here with a quick smoke gank there. So we might see him play a little bit back, or maybe have that Disruptor hanging around a bit more in the middle lane from now on.
Yeah, I mean, Death Prophet is definitely a hero who likes to play very aggressively, so I mean, you can't exactly blame him for being up there. And I think it was probably the right choice to be there. Unfortunately, Smoke just saving him there. And be slightly too aggressive in the situation when you've got 2 supports missing on your map. We see now the Spirit Breaker potentially rotating down to the bottom, looking for a gank there as Slut kind of sits back on half. Almost getting to the level 6 there. You see him just short a couple bits of creep experience that's going to give him a lot of HP regeneration and make this lane very difficult for opposing him. Spirit Breaker just chilling in those trees looking to see if he can get any kills. But on the mid lane we see Invoker pinging out for a gank from the Bane. Bane sitting on the high ground behind. And Godot going to the high ground there, throwing out a few attacks, but the Charge of Darkness coming in. They do see it with the ward, and Godot starting to run backwards. The ward saving him here as he moves into the jungle, and Spirit Breaker cancelling that attack. But now the Disruptor coming in, potentially looking to get a glimpse here to bring him into an awkward position, and he does so. Kinetic Field going down, and Godot moving in. The Soul Sap coming out along with the Concussive Blast, and that's a very, very dead Spirit Breaker right there. Fantastic counter gank, turning a potentially awkward situation into an excellent situation with the power of wards.
Yeah, that just shows how important wards are against Spirit Breaker. I mean, if they didn't have that there, that's potentially another kill on Godot. So I think the Spirit Breaker on Dream here has got to think twice about doing those sort of charges from now on.
Definitely, and I really love the play from the Disruptor there where he waited just long enough to get exactly the timing he needed on the glimpse, because blinking a Spirit Breaker or glimpsing a Spirit Breaker too early there could have really hurt him, potentially putting him much further back since he moves so quickly with the Charge for Darkness. The Invoker now moving into the jungle and giving some space to his Bane to get levels. Bane only level 4, looking to get level 5 shortly, and hopefully able to get Bane's grip off. As we see a big rotation in there, Death Prophet coming in. TP's there and not able to do anything. In fact, maybe even turning this as the Disruptor comes in, glimpsing the Bane back, another kinetic field, but Cold Snap down on Godot with the Death Prophet. They will get the Bane, but they'll lose Godot on Death Prophet for it. I'm not sure if that was a worthwhile trade there, unfortunately. A Spirit Breaker maybe looks to go in deep, but decides to out for the better of it.
Dire's top
Yeah, I
tower
mean,
is under
Birdman and
attack.
Princeton getting a little bit overzealous there, underestimating the damage, and a lucky bash as well on the death prophet there really sealed it into that sunstrike. So yeah, I think they do want to take that fight. It looked like it was going to be an easy kill on Bane, but unfortunately it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it did look like it was going to be pretty good until the cold snap, unfortunately, really turning it. Death Prophet. We see another glimpse kinetic field, and Exorcism coming out from the Death Prophet along with the Soul Siphon, shutting down that Spirit Breaker, and that's very, dead Spirit Breaker. Probably looking to push the tower now as we see rotations coming down from the Bane in smoke.
Dire's middle tower
They're maybe
is under
looking to
attack.
get a kill on top there, but not able to as Bane comes down to try and defend this tower.
Got TP's
And
coming
Exorcism just cutting away. Yeah, definitely.
in.
As
The
we see
Nightmare
the,
still work. What? Oh, the Spirit Siphon still works through Nightmare apparently.
Yep, it does. It's not a channeled ability, it's a debuff. On the opponent that's in effect as long as Death Prophet is within range, as she backs away from that, doing a significant amount of damage to the tower there and restoring all of her health as the Exorcism spirits return, sitting in a really nice position here for Darcy. As Slark grabs the bounty room on bot and maybe looking to rotate down and grab.
Spirit Breaker charging in deep here on bottom lane.
And he's very, very keen, but a huge Sunstrike coming out, and this could be very problematic for Skyrath Mage, who is out of mana.
Unlucky for
As he tries to
Slark.
kind of juke around, but that's a fantastic juke there. As a additional TP comes in from Batrider, and Batrider already with 6, potentially able to grab the Slark and pull him back into an all position. Unfortunately, a Nightmare from Bane, shutting that possibility down, but Glimpse coming out, and this Disruptor really proving his worth as he puts the Slark back into the Napalm and finishes them off. Batrider jumping up, looking to get any additional kills he can.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yep.
When did he pick that up?
Radiant structures are
I
fortified.
am not sure, but must have been pretty recently. I mean, he probably doesn't have the easiest lane, but a 10-minute Blink Dagger is still a fantastic position. As they also convert the Spirit Breaker into a kill there with a fantastic Storm placement from the Disruptor to finish that boy off. Boka, though, pushing in on the middle lane, trying to take
Radiant's middle
advantage of
tower
this,
is
and now
under
moving up to
attack.
grab that top rune of Regeneration, which he's going to be very pleased to grab. Doesn't have the bottle there, but still getting a lot more mana. And we kind of see a relative space of pacificity here. As a lot of the One Dream, One Team in the fountain, they begin to move back down to the lane there. In the meantime, I mean, let's take a look at this Sven here. We see not doing too badly for himself with a decent number of last hit 73 there, the highest in the game, and his net worth looking pretty good there. Slightly behind the Invoker and the Prophet have been trading kills there on each team. Spirit Breaker though, sitting back on the trees on this bot lane.
Yeah, I think the Spirit Breakers have more for protection than anything else. I mean, they're gonna probably try and look for opportunities when they can, but I mean, against the Disruptor, it's gonna be
In the mid lane
a
though, we
hard
see
kill.
the Death Prophet coming in, look too far up, and the Smoked Bane coming from behind. Cold Snap going down along with that, but Batrider grabbing the Invoker and pulling him back. Still not going enough though, and the charge coming in, Skyrath was in too, but they
Timely pause here.
Very untimely pause as the Spirit Breaker charging in on the Nightmared Batrider, and Skyrath Mage looking to throw a Arcane Bolt. We can see it in fact in the middle of being cast. Bane already with the Ancient Seal on him along with the Concuss to slow him down, and this could be a very big Arcane Bolt.
If
Don't really have much to follow
the
it up.
Bane still has Fiend's Grip. He's got enough if he uses the Magic Stick to cast it, but I really don't think they take this fight here. I think we'll see both teams back off, but
Real situation. We do also see Disruptor coming in. There goes the
Spirit Breaker.
Top
Bolt.
tower is
Not
under
sure
attack.
what's
Spirit
happening
Breaker
here.
going right in, and then, oh dear, a huge Static Swarm Glimpse doing a huge amount of damage, taking out Invoker, and also probably getting the Spirit Breaker down as Disruptor chases for it. They're able to finish off the Skyrath Mage, and Disruptor's trying to hunt down the
Dire's top
Spirit Breaker, but
tower
probably
is
is not.
falling.
Oh!
Unlucky.
Timing in that high ground ward, giving him vision to get the attack
Dire's
as
middle
they
tower
throw down
is
2
under
sentries
attack.
to try and deal with it in utter rage. And One Dream, One Team chases their Disruptor off into the enemy forest,
This is a
and
one
Disruptor
dead.
unfortunately not able to get away.
He's just burning time at this stage, making space.
Definitely, I mean, making significant space there for Death Prophet, who's back in the middle lane, trying to a little bit more farm, and of course the Sven, who's been pretty much farming uncontestedly for quite some time.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, so that fight ends up going the way of Dream. So Spirit Breaker, even though he was charging into a disruptor with his ult up, which did look questionable, it ends up working out for them. So
Radiant's bottom tower
you know,
is under
Well, I mean,
attack.
fairly
again,
even,
at the
but-
time,
Dire's top tower
they
is under
couldn't have
attack.
seen too that the disruptor was coming in. I mean, they had a nightmare bat rider just standing right on the edge of those stairs, so it could have been a little bit awkward.
Dire's
They put it in the
middle
middle,
tower is under
throwing down
attack.
an invisibility rune and an exorcism
Dire's
to quickly chew down this
structures
tower.
are
We see Glyph
fortified.
coming out from the Dire side. Was whoa,
A
huge
very
hook
bold
there from
hook.
Clock onto the Skywrath mage, but the Clock
Dire's middle
limps
tower has
straight
fallen.
back. Spirit Breaker actually gets caught in. Oh no! In fact, Spirit Breaker with a very timely ultimate there,
They
getting
actually
away. We hear a
saved the
bad
clockwork
ultimate.
there with that glove.
Radiant's
It's
bottom
Bat
tower
potentially
is under
finishing off the
attack.
clockwork, but not able to as Chaos Meteor comes down and Cold Snap finishing him off. In a very awkward place for Bedman and Francine. Slark ultimate coming out as the system returns and a
He's
static
gonna
storm goes
fall
down,
here.
potentially finishing off. Yep, he will in fact fall. And Fiend's Grip versus Soul Siphon, the battle of the ages as Clockwork just finishes them off with Shrapnel and potentially looking to grab this disruptor as well, and he does so with help of Fiend's brain set there. Skywrath Mage comes back in with maybe a little bit too keen here. Sven throwing out the Storm Hammer. Skywrath Mage not even able to convert this Clockwork, and the Sven's probably going to go down too to a massive Cold Snap wave attacks as he throws down the Battle Cry trying to escape, but
he's
Nightmare
definitely
getting
dead
on
now.
perfect positioning. He is very, very dead as he maybe tries to get the Clockwork, but not even able to. Becoming a 4 for 4. 4 for 5 actually.
Oh wow, big
against
gold swing.
Skyrim.
So it's over 3,000 gold swing there for Dream. It looks like Batrider may be in trouble here as well. Set himself up for an easy Sunstrike.
And that's a very tough situation. I mean, Beerman and Francine just continuing to throw themselves in here one by one.
Yeah, I think that's the
it's
problem.
sort of-
They're not sticking together as a team. A little bit uncoordinated here.
Well, I mean, yeah, they definitely started to convert team fight into something that was pretty meaningful, and they were in a really great position. But then afterwards, they just kept coming back in. I mean, Skywrath dying at the start of that team fight and came back after
Dire's
respawning,
middle
immediately
tower
dying
is under
again.
attack.
Not a good situation for anyone involved, and only trying to just convert kind of the Clockwork into a kill, which really wasn't even worth a whole lot to them.
Yeah, I mean,
Clockwork
we've
now
talked
standing.
about they have the team that does work better in the team fights, but they really do need to coordinate a little bit better, I think, and use their ultimates together. Especially like we saw before, the Skywrath Mage using the ultimate on the Clockwork, but then instantly he got glimpsed out by the disruptor. So they're definitely not on the same page here. They're going for a smoke though, so they want some revenge after those kills.
Definitely, we see them moving through the river here. Death Brother just going to grab that bounty rune, I guess. Yep, and bottling up.
The Bane's
They
gonna
move
spot
around.
this
Let's
out
get this
though.
Bane, but Bane does spot it, unfortunately. A
He
nightmare
may
on the
pay
Death
for
Prophet
his,
as
with this for his life.
Clockwork tries to run. We see TP's coming in from the Invoker, immediately yields up, and now getting thrown down on a static storm goes to field holds in place. Will this be enough to kill the Invoker? It is in fact enough to kill the Invoker. Exorcism coming out with Clockwork, the Blade Mail now doing huge amounts of damage in response to Death Prophet. And they're going to finish off the Sven as well, and a disastrous engagement there for Beardman and Francine. As Spirit Breaker goes in to try and finish off this disruptor, Ophelia coming out too, and he glimpses the Spirit Breaker back in a moment of comical amusement. Clockwork is going to try and
He's
chase
gonna
the
keep
disruptor
vision,
down, but
so
probably not able to do
the
much.
Spirit Breaker can charge again.
Radiant's
Yep, there's a
bottom
kinetic
tower
field, so
is
now
under
it's the
attack.
Spirit Breaker's moment,
Nah, he's back
but
off.
Spirit Breaker not interested
Not
in
keen.
Going that deep. And
I
can you
would have
blame
been
him
in
really?
there.
I mean,
I would
that's...
have been in there.
Oh, huge commitment here from my co-caster. Definitely always commits to a kill. Something
Radiant's
that maybe
bottom
needs
tower
to
is
be
under attack.
maintained a little bit throughout the match is overcommitment to single kills. As we see One Dream One Team there taking down the bottom tier 1
Radiant's
tower.
bottom tower
Actually,
has
only
fallen.
the second tower in the game
Radiant's
to fall.
top tower is under
Both of them
attack.
being the side lane towers for either team. So a very fighty game, but not a lot of tower pushing. Looking over the net worth though, we do see Invoker with a huge net worth there, becoming a real threat. Spirit Breaker started to charge, but decided not to. Kodor coming up, gets warned by a Clockwork that is massive. Batrider in response, jumping up with the Flaming Lasso, pulling them back. Kinetic Field, Clockwork in place. As the fire is going to finish off Bane. and they're going to hunt down the Clockwork. A Glimpse timely grabs Clockwork, Blade Mail coming out, but they don't want too phased. Mostly spell damage here as they throw down on them and finishing them off with a nice crit swarm there from Death Prophet.
Yeah, a couple good kills there from Birdman and Francine. Obviously losing the Stareth, but you know, at this point you'd love to do a one for two trade.
Definitely, and I mean starting to bring back the experience and gold lead that One Dream One team have. Obviously, we see they're still at about a 5,000 gold lead, in fact, which is really awkward. Sorry, 5,000 gold, 5,000 experience lead, and around about a 3,500 net worth lead.
We just see the
to
spin
One Dream One
there,
team.
clearing up a big stack though. That was at least a triple stack, I believe. So he's gonna be a lovely payday there for him.
In fact, when I was watching the gold graph, we saw a noticeable jump towards the side of Birdman and Francine. And we see Sven now the highest net worth there on the Radiant side, still trailing the Invoker, but by a whole lot, only 1,000 gold. And Death Prophet also in a fantastic position. So this Sven definitely could be getting scary soon. Looking to his items, we see he has the Helm of the Dominator, Sanjin Yasha, and Power Treads. I mean, before we talk about that anymore, though, we see the Bane getting picked off.
Oh, nice blast.
And a nice near field kind of spreading them off as Clock tries to hook in.
Another Clock
going to take down the Death Prophet. A Glimpse back to get the Clock out of the way, and Slark's now all alone. Could they look to turn this? Batrider still with a flaming lasso, but not really interested in using it. Throws it out, and his Blink coming off cooldown, escaping him, but in the mid lane, they're still going. Bane coming quite a way forward and getting a big a big bit of damage thrown down and missed clear on him there.
Denies himself there.
Denies himself.
Wow.
The Glimpse back though on the Invoker, and Invoker now getting chopped down by Sven. Slark's going to come back in, try to disrupt it there.
Free, though.
Battlecry coming out from Sven, and he's doing huge amounts of damage, chunking down Slark. You see the Sven showing his farm with the god strength, chopping him down. And back at the low pine mid tower, we see Clockwork going really deep, trying to get that kill. But a mystic, yeah, there we go. Arcane Bolt, just getting him off in time. Sven's not even interested in that, he's going for that mid tier 1 tower. Mid tier 2, mid tier 1's actually gone, mid tier 2 tower it is.
Yeah.
It's by a glyph, but a really big fight there for Birdman and Francine. We see the pure strength of their fight. I mean, Disruptor throwing down a kinetic field and a static storm that didn't catch anyone, but still put them in a very, very awkward position that was difficult to engage, separating both Spirit Breaker and Bane out of the fight, and making his team to kind of try and shuffle around to get to him. And then Glimpse, after the Clock Hook, putting them in an even better position, meaning no Clock Hook, of course, and able to escape. We see the Death Prophet here, maybe going to catch up Bane, but yep, they've got a ward here. The Spirit Breaker's coming down. Bane glimpses, Bane Glimmer capes himself rather, and there we go. That's a very, very dead Death Prophet.
Nice execution there as well. The Nightmare into Sunstrike.
Yep, and then a nice little Spirit Breaker touch to follow up with a finish. Godot maybe getting a little too aggressive there, getting up in the enemy jungle without quite enough vision, as we see Bane picking up more of those wards, and Sven picking up a Blink Dagger. So this is a very, very strong Sven now looking to initiate too with the Blink Dagger, throwing down the Storm Hammer, finish them off.
So yeah, he's gone for the Sanjin Yasha first. He does want a bit more mobility by the looks of it, and obviously it tanks you up as well, which, you know, you're never going to complain on a spin there. It's going to be very hard to take him down quickly.
Definitely. I mean, I do feel that Sanjin Yasha maybe is a slightly more aggressive item, which they didn't take as much advantage of as they could. Would have liked to maybe see Sven with so much safe farm go for something bigger. Though I'm not really sure what, as we see One Dream One team smoking, getting ready to try and go in and mid tower. Clock throwing down a flare, and he's looking to try and get any kind of hook in that he can, go into the high ground, Ancients. Throws the main thing away, and he grabs the Skywrath Mage, but he's gone very deep. Skywrath Mage, I would have just forced himself up there. And the Clockwork now in a very good position as Exorcism goes down. They're all very close to this tier 1 tower, a great position for Birdman and Francine. As Batrider grabbing the Bane there, pulling back. Now Invoker going down to a Kinetic Field Static Storm, along with the Death Prophet slow from her Siphon there, and they're going to chase down at Clockwork. And just, we're really seeing the pure raw strength of the team fight here from Birdman and Francine. As Stormhammer is going to catch that Clockwork, along with the 4 staff onto the Sven to put him into range to just hack them down.
Yeah, it looks like off the
and now
back
looking
of
to
that,
take Roshan.
they're going to take it
No, looking to take the tier 1. It does look like they're going to be looking to take this tier 1 and maybe chomp down this Slark. Who's trying to escape, but a Stormhammer going out. Oh, he does manage to Shadowblade it. And I was not aware that Shadowblade stopped the Stormhammer from hitting that.
Yeah, any invisibility will
Dire's
destroy
bottom
the
tower is under
Stormhammer, I
attack.
believe.
Well, it's quite fascinating as they go in there. Unfortunately, no more exorcism there on Godot's Death Prophet, but he does proceed to just chomp the tower down with the help of that skin
Dire's
there.
bottom tower.
Slark hiding around behind the secret shop, maybe looking to try and come in from the back line as his team comes in from the front and tackling a pincer movement.
Yeah, they
trying on those supports.
They know the
Dire's bottom
exorcism's
tower
down, so
is
they might
under
want to fight
attack.
here.
Definitely. I mean, we see the amazing potential though of just the push and team fight of this team, with the Crypt Swarm and the Cleave from Sven, just doing quite a bit of work there. As one Dream, one team would group and maybe look to jump into the Radiant Jungle and get any kinds of here. I'll just take a quick look at the graphs. We see, in fact, Beardman and Francine taking that previously disastrous gold deficit there, pushing it all the way back up to, in fact, surplus, going above one Dream, one team now with some nice kills, still behind in kills, but fantastic farming patterns and just really good fights recently have pushed them back up there to 2,500 lead. Not too much, but definitely in a lead. And also coming back up into the experience lead once again, only about 2,500 lead, not significant. But definitely still in the lead and looking to possibly move further. I mean, this incredibly strong team fight they've got here, just very impressive. As we see them catch out the Clockwork with a timely sentry ward, the Arcane Seal and Cusp Shot going down, glimpse to the Static Storm Canadian field. This is a very, very deep Clockwork here as he goes down. Without much of a fight, really. And now we see the Swarm Cleave combo just doing a huge amount of damage to push down this wave. It's one Dream, one team looking to try and kind of push in the bottom lane, but we see looks like Lord Darcy going to move down into this Roshan pit, try and grab a nice tasty Roshan for this team.
Yeah, you see Beardman and Francine playing a lot more to their strengths now, moving around as 5, so I think it's going to be scouted, but I think they'll still do it. I don't think they're too worried,
On the bot
especially
lane,
with the
we
clock
can see
down.
Batrider getting caught out. Wow! And just disappearing on bot lane there. Caught out by a Fiend's Grip, and then Sunstrike thrown down on it. He just couldn't do anything about it. The Prophet throwing out the Exorcism, expecting to potentially maybe try and jump in on this, but they are not able to do anything as the smoke goes down immediately. They look to try and push through and hunt down anyone who might be in their jungle. Unfortunately, no one there as they've already left after getting their tasty bat kill.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened to the bat there. Was he just scouting, trying to ward off the push on the bot there?
It looked like he was just keeping an eye on the opposing team there, and possibly looking to kind of like get a pick once they have the Roshan, grab the pick immediately and then turn it into a kill, but not able to. But Sven caught out in the mid lane, a Nightmare onto him, and then Spirit Breaker ult coming out to keep him stunned there. He's going to make it out, and a huge kinetic storm static field, not actually doing quite enough. KB comes down from Slug, allowing him to leap out there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Block and rotate the mid lane, losing a disruptor there, but Sven getting away scot-free. Very low HP Invoker though. Looks like something they might want to eat up.
Radiant's middle
And
tower
Invoker. Disruptor buying a Gem of True Sight there.
Radiant's
prepping
top
it for his
tower
team's
has
use.
fallen.
And one Dream, one team, once again just showing us the strength here. I mean, two very different styles here. We see one Dream, one team with a very
Radiant's
like kind
middle
of
tower is
pick-orientated
under
build versus Lord Darcy's build, which is much more team fight orientated, going around as 4 to 5. And
Radiant's
just
top
showing
tower
very
is
strong
under
team.
attack.
I mean, what do you expect to see from each team as we go forward? Just more of the same?
I think from Beard, I expect with the Aegis, I expect them to team up as 5 and maybe take these last out of 2 towers, because I think they just straight up win any 5v5 engagement at this point, especially with the Aegis. And what you're probably going to look is picks. Like, we might actually no, we're not going to see anything here, but from Dream, they just want to get these kills. Like, they've shown their team can, but they've got to be careful when doing that. We have seen Beard's great rotations, and they're moving around as a unit, so making it a lot tougher for the team of Dream.
Absolutely, I mean, they're still showing that their ability to get picks with the increased kill count there. Lord Darcy, on the other hand, is kind of showing that they can still just kind of out-farm them and get wins with really great team fights. But we see a potential pick on the Sven here as he very quickly TP's out. luckily there is the Spirit Breaker was hauling all the way over to him. And then Insane moving down into their own jungle.
Yeah, we see
looking to
grouping
take
up
this
here,
bottom
so
tower.
yeah, I would like them to take this bottom tower and then possibly go top as well. They might play around the exorcism a bit and not push unless that's up if they're not feeling 100% confident. So,
Well, I mean, Exorcism is up, and they do have an Aegis for the Immortal there on Death Prophet, so a very strong time for them to maybe start doing some work.
and they got Bat scouting up ahead, so he does have the 4-staff as well, so they're going to probably try and get a quick pick if anyone shows up to defend. But it looks
And
like they're
Ghost
just going to
gets
split
thrown
push, which is a smart
Dire's
decision, I
bottom
think.
tower is under attack.
Certainly on the Death Prophet, we see Rod of Atos and a Soul Booster likely looking to move into an Octarine core. On the other hand, we have with Sven, we see a Reaver coming out, probably looking to go for a Heart of Trask. I mean, how do you feel about this? I'd be
Radiant's
thinking
middle
that after
tower
some
is
recent
under
events, they
attack.
might be looking to potentially go for
Dire's
the
bottom tower is under attack.
BKB,
Dire's
but on the middle
bottom
lane there we see
tower
TP's
has
coming
fallen.
down. Maybe a pick coming off. I mean, they do have a Bat Rider, which is a great time to pick. Yep, and there we go. We got the Bane pulling back under the tower, and it's going to be a very easy Bane not able to do a whole hell of a lot there, as he just kind of melts under the tower.
Radiant's
Meanwhile,
top tower
one
is
team
under
gonna grab
attack.
that ancient stack. It looks like it was
Dire's
only
bottom
stacks
tower
though.
is under attack.
But Sven caught out on the bot lane by the Clockwork.
Oh,
pulled down
wow.
and taken down.
Radiant's top tower is under
Didn't
attack.
even notice that while that little engagement on mid happened. But yeah, quickly must have been hooked there while he was in the trees looking for a TP out. And a very timely ward there.
That would have been a
one dream, one
Radiant's
team.
top tower is under
combination of the
attack.
stun strike as well to help him out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when Sven has no BKB. Oh, I guess it's pure damage.
And Clock
though,
has a blade
the
mail
stun
too.
strike.
With a blade mail as well. So that's, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a very hard fight for Sven at that stage.
Yeah, so he can't fight through the stuns of the clock as well. He doesn't look like he's going to get a BKB either. He must just feel like he doesn't need it this game.
Yeah, I mean, he has picked up that Reaver. I think it's potentially maybe not the best choice to not get the BKB. I mean, Cold Snap, Shrapnel, Slark Leash, all of these things are kind of a little bit
Tornado
scary, along with
EMP combo
Nightmare.
as well. That just
Yeah,
wrecks
yeah.
the Sven. I mean, you have, like, that's pretty much your entire mana pool.
And of course, Fiend's Grip, also very threatening. All skills that you probably want to have a BKB for, so I'm not sure I agree with this choice 100%. But I mean, it is his choice. We see the Death Prophet already having an Octarine core there along with her Yules. And Rod of Atos going for a very high health build.
I believe the
Rod of Atos.
Fiend's Grip goes through BKB though. So does the
Dire's
Clockwork
top
Hook,
tower
so...
is under attack.
Oh, we got a fight breaking out here.
It does in fact pierce magical immunity. We see Spirit Breaker immediately getting thrown out with the top going down.
Nice
hooking.
cogs there.
And they're all into their own box now though, with the Mystic Flare coming down. They take the Bat Rider, and Gurdot's sitting there no longer with an Aegis, as the Static Storm goes down silencing him, but Slark doesn't really care about this with the BKB. He throws down a Soul Siphon to try and slow him, but he's still keeping it up. But now, the BKB finishing, and the Exorcister is kind of like chomping down on him. I see a Deafening Blast come in, maybe looking to finish them off, but Bane throwing down a Nightmare, probably not the best choice against the Prophet. As he just disappeared, the Sven and the Exorcism Ghosts. Glimmer Cape keeping alive with an Urn Charge to recharge the Prophet there, and we're probably going to see them take this tower, I imagine, after that pretty solid
Yeah.
fight for them.
They got 3 of the other teams down, so they'll be very happy with that fight.
Dire's top tower is under
Absolutely, we
attack.
see Slark in the jungle there, Bat Rider maybe looking to get a pick off on him. Still does have
Dire's
both
top
Blink and the
tower
Flaming
has
Lasso
fallen.
up, so it could have been a fantastic time to, but deciding not to, it looks like, or maybe just not aware that he was there. And yeah, I mean, that was just a slightly disastrous fight for one Dream, one team. I mean, Clock going in with a pretty good hook, getting 2 inside, but unfortunately Spirit Breaker throwing down an ult, and at the same time as Skywrath Mage jumping out using that 4-staff, and then they were both kind of stuck in there with a Mystic Flare and a load of Exorcist damage coming through. Actually costing them that tier 2 tower, and we see one Dream, one team kind of slowly being whittled down. It's still a very close game from both sides.
Yeah, we see
As we
that
move.
team completely, that fight completely even up the graphs as well. Both teams extremely even right now in terms of golden XP, so it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out.
Absolutely, I mean, those comeback mechanics really showing their worth as we see one Dream, one team smoking up, looking to move into the Radiant Jungle. where unfortunately all of the enemy team is. We see Skywrath already standing here, looking to scout out any of these. And Sven goes down. He's going to get Fane Strip and in there, but unfortunately it gets blocked. Static Storm goes down along with the Mystic Flare, and there's 3 tracking the Cogs, and they're all friendly. As this Static Storm does huge amounts of damage, Deafening Blast going through, but not able to do anything. And Exorcism coming out, shooting through this Bane, and Nightmare onto Death Prophet once again, but that's not going to stop it, even alive. As Concussive Blast goes down. Bear Rider, Flaming Lasso, Blink, and Darking it back in the enemy team. That's going to finish off the Slark, and now both are in an awkward position. A huge silence coming down from Death Prophet, and the Exorcism's just going to eat him. Unfortunately, though, he's able to get out in time as the Exorcism goes to still target onto him, shut down. Spirit Breaker back up, but backing away. They decide to head out of there, and again, a fantastic engagement for Bedman and Francine. DotA moving into the mid lane there to push and just put that lane pressure back on.
Yeah, we saw Dream engage entirely on the Sven. I believe at the start they may have thought he was alone, because he's the first hero that they saw there, so they used everything on him. But it maybe with that Reaver, is the heart completed? Yes, it is completed. So with that heart, he managed to survive through all of that onslaught enough to deal some serious damage there. So yeah, so he pretty much tanked everything for them, and then the rest of the fight they just had to go through and do their thing.
Absolutely, I mean it was super difficult for them too. Unfortunately, Bane threw down the Fiend's grip on him, along with the Clockwork Hook, along with everything else, and then Batrider just walked in and kind of threw down his flaming explosion that knocks back and stuns a little bit, throws down the mini stun. Although I don't believe it does mini stun anymore, does it?
The flame break?
Yeah, the flame break there. Oh, it does. No, it does still do mini stun. Yeah, so knocking the Bane out of the Fiend's grip, and then kind of just throwing the enemy team into disarray. Unfortunately, once again, too, all of them kind of went down after the clock, jumped inside those cogs there, and Bedman and Francine are really looking for that. I mean, over and over we see one team getting stuck inside their own cogs, facing maybe 1 to 2 heroes. In this case, it was the Sven. And Sven's not going to be too worried about that. I mean, he gets to cleave them, but on top of that, we see all heroes with huge AoE and teamfight presence. Batrider grabs up the Flaming Seal on the Invoker, pulling him back. That's going to be a very dead Invoker once he comes out. Yeah, we see the Static Storm to finish him off. Clockwork is stuck in with a Sven, but not able to do enough to him. Sven just kind of backs away, fights a Slark in the back. There as Disruptor, just kinetic feels him, stuck is 6 foot away, but a nice leap grabbing him. Disruptor manages to make it away. And Slark also getting away with a nice glimmer hack there. But Exorcism is still up, and they're still in an awkward position. Clockwork gets a knife on him. He's back, then standing there, stuck in an ice wall, and Slark comes back too, taking a lot of damage though. And yep, DotA looking to finish him off with the Death Prophet, gets the Siphon in there, and dodges the hook. Yep, 2 missed hooks there, very, very awkward. As the Soul Siphon goes down on the Invoker, a kinetic field, not quite catching the Bane, but a huge silence catching him, along with the Soul Siphon, and they're going to pick him up quite nicely. Oh, but a Clockwork Hook that did actually hit this time. Just a Deafening Blast that gets the Batrider onto the trees, dropping the Gem Sight there too. Gem of True Sight there rather. And maybe slightly too aggressive there from Bedman and Francine.
Yeah, they definitely stuck around a bit too long there, I think. They were getting very low and they hadn't really picked anyone off yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, probably should have been looking to try and get the get the tower and get out. I mean, especially with an Exorcism up and a Clockwork now with the Gagam Scepter, of course, throwing down constant hooks everywhere. Missing 2 of them, but the third one did manage to land on the Death Prophet there and doing some work.
Yeah, that's just the benefit of the eggs, isn't it? Yeah, it doesn't matter how many you miss as long as you land one sooner or later, right?
Definitely, and it was a pretty big one too, which put them in a very awkward position. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, Death Prophet probably just overcommitting to that fight. We sent the tower down to half HP, but Bedman and Francine probably would have benefited a lot more from just trying to take that tower out, but I mean, who knows, in the heat of those battles, it's very hard to make those decisions.
Yeah, I think
especially
DotA was getting
a calm perspective.
DotA was getting quite aggressive there. He was up well past the tier 3, and the rest of his team was still sitting on the low ground for a lot of that, so...
Death Prophet definitely a hero who loves to get aggressive though, and who really thrives on being aggressive. I mean, a Death Prophet is a bully hero. So I definitely can't blame him for that. Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Yeah, no exit strategy though. It's just I'm in here, let's hope to kill everyone.
And we see Spirit Breaker trying to solo Roshan and taking a lot of damage. Potentially just an easy kill here. If anyone happened to pop around, but Invoker picking up an Aegis of the Immortal. As we see, looking at the graphs, Interestingly, Beardman and Francine actually picking up a huge gold lead there, almost up to 5,000, even despite the Roshan and the few deaths they had there.
Yeah.
7,500 experience lead, dropping down to 5,000 there after those fights in Roshan as well. So, still in fantastic shape. I mean, showing us that the slow and steady game really working out for them, and that strong team fight just doing a huge amount of work.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they might wait this Roche out, this Aegis out, or do you think that they will try and get a pick off, or do you think they're just confident enough to just try a push again? I don't think they should try a push straight into the tier 3s here, so maybe they just hold off until their Aegis wears out.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm thinking they're probably just going to hold off. I mean, they still have their tier 2s up. Definitely something they can lose. And taking a Roche fight here could be pretty disastrous. I mean, with tier 2s, we're at almost the 40-minute mark of the game. We see very farmed heroes there, both Lark and Invoker, able to do a huge amount of damage to towers. I mean, a team wipe here, or an awkward fight or anything like that. I mean, mid tower's almost dead already, and it's possibly even in a deniable range. Along with that could easily be a Rax, and that could be a very different position. When they're already kind of in a relatively hit position, but I mean we see them moving forward, Death Prophet kind of baiting any attacks. Bane Glimmer caping in, and we see the Spirit Breaker charge.
Missed the charge, but it's still gonna hit. Lucky for
charge. Flame Break though, knocking Bane out of there. As Sven goes in, leaves them down. 2 hits on Bane, and Invoker almost dead as well. Bat Rider going in, grabbing the Invoker, knocking his Aegis down. The team backs off, but I mean they've still got a Death Prophet here with Exorcism. She's taking a lot of heat from this Slark though, but she's free now. Huge Exorcist Ghost damage going out there. Mystic Flare going down, trying to catch up to Slark, but they're not quite able to. They're going to use up the Sven and manage to get away relatively scot-free. But Invoker on very low health, having lost that Aegis, as we see Sven grab the Slark. A nice flame break and then into body blocks there. It's the Exorcism Ghost hunt down, but not even there. They take him down, and this should be an easy mid tower, I'd say, with the Ghosts unfortunately just timing out. But a solid creep wave and a big battle cry from Sven. I think we're going to see
middle tower
Rax going down here.
Yeah, they just showed you the strength there of Beardman's 5-man lineup. Dream wanted a pick, but yeah, they just didn't know that their entire team was waiting behind them.
Yeah, I mean the power of vision, isn't it? Very good position. I mean, I think that One team constantly throwing down this Fiend's grip before we see the Bat Rider flame break. And it's really always getting knocked out of it, which is awkward. I mean, Sven showing us that he really doesn't need a BKB here, able to kind of just rely on his team to knock away any of the main disabled. So we see the Sven go to work on the Bane here. Static Storm going down, Silence almost getting him with the Clockwork Hook coming in, Shiva's Guard coming after the bit. And Disruptor stuck inside with Clockwork, Glimmer came up. Another kinetic field goes down and try to lock him in, putting Clockwork in a hostile position, not able to escape. As Invoker kind of tries to walk around, but a Nightmare, Godot, and a Sven who needs to get out.
Nice,
Silence goes down
by Clock.
Invoker, yeah, it was a solid hook.
They might turn it around on
going
this. Do they have the backup?
But, yep, the Death Prophet maybe trying to get away. And not really able to do anything, just kind of committing to a fate. Clockwork going on
chasing him down.
He's very keen, but the flame break pushing him back, and I think that's probably going to be the end of it.
Oh, lucky.
Two blinks coming out, and the hook going out, but not quite able to convert any of those. When what a fight! I mean, there's going on left, right, and centre there. I mean, a very, very big fight.
That was well played by Dream that fight. 3,000 over 3,000 gold swing there, going the way of Dream. So they might just have pulled this one to their side. If we look at the graphs here, over 10,000 XP lead now. Well, it's just dropped down a little bit after that fight. So
yeah, definitely very far in the XP. I mean,
still got a long way to climb there.
Absolutely, and I mean, even the net worth still over 5,000, sitting around about that 6,000 mark. Not huge, but still relatively significant there. As we see the mid tower fall.
I question this push though. Looks like they might just back up.
I don't think they can go any further. No. I mean, it's an easy tower pick. That tower was very low, but they probably don't want to go much further than that as they move into kind of the jungle and do their thing. Invoker grabbing an arcane rune. Going to be very, very strong on him this late in the game.
Yeah.
Probably with relatively low cooldowns.
The thing about Dream's lineup as well is it's incredibly hard to take the high ground fight from the low ground. Just because their heroes are very ganking orientated, whereas it's almost the opposite.
And they have excellent clear too. But we see BMN and Francine there just dewarding towards good bait limit out, and it looks like they're just going to go ahead and not take that fight. Spirit Breaker kind of just sitting top with his Forge Spirits, looking to grab any experience he can. They're only on level 15, so trying to get that level 16 there. I think opposing team, I mean, even the Disruptor and Skyrath supports 16 and 18, so very strong as they maybe look to grab Spirit Breaker, but not able to. He picks away. Both teams kind of moving back into a state of passive farm.
Who do you go for if this game goes really late? Who's your money on if this is 60-minute game?
I still talk to Beardman and Francine. I mean, Beardman and Francine, like we saw from their bans early on too, they're really looking to push this game late. And I mean, they do have heroes that do a great job of pushing the game late. I mean, Disruptor with an Aghanim Scepter now, I mean, that's items and abilities when he's got a static storm down. So I mean, no Yules, no actives of any kind, like suddenly nobody use that. Net Rider, I mean, he's in perfect condition. I mean, all he needs is Burst of Travel and he's basically finished. And then we have Death Prophet, who's only going to get stronger the longer you go. All heroes that do very well. On the other hand, we have Spirit Breaker, a hero who doesn't do particularly well once you do late game. As we see an engagement start, though, Net Rider going in, grabbing this Spirit Breaker and pulling him back into the so he's got BKB up, which is not going to be enough.
The
He's
cleave
going to
killing the Spirit Breaker.
Yep. And chomping down on the Invoker too, not able to do a whole lot. See, the static storm went down, this Clockwork's going to get picked off, but a questionable glitch there. Putting him back in a position though, the Spin easily be able to finish him off along with the Death Prophet. Chomping him down, we see the Scepter there, Ghost Scepter coming up, and buybacks all around. Sven taking a lot of hits from Slark, but Limit Cake to save him. And they're going to go, and he's going to try and man-fight the Slark, but he can't actually do it, probably having lost too many stats, and of course the weakness from Bane there. He blinks out, extremely low health, but Godot still full of, absolutely full health. No longer got exorcism up, but the Disruptor just kind of kited him around. I'll throw down plenty of glimpses of airfield. Godot just cleaning up, as we see the GG from Dream. And a very tough first match, but eventually going to be a man of Francine thanks to the strong farming pattern, incredibly strong team fight, putting one Dream in an awkward position.
Yeah, great team fight execution too there from Beard, as we mentioned.
Absolutely, I mean they did it. They had great team fight execution all the way through, but I'll pass it off to you guys at the analysis desk now. And I'll see you for the next game, mates.
I'll see you then.
Go. Start.
Hey guys, welcome back from a fantastic game. Like I said before, we're fantastic level of Dota that we're playing. Got me back on, got Mads Outcaster here back on the analyst desk.
Yeah. Ready to analyze.
Ready to analyze me, Cacti King, and Spider-Man over here as well. And yeah, what a game that was. We saw two entirely different lineouts. One incredibly gang-centric, one incredibly team-based, and in the end it turned out a team-based one.
Yeah, I mean, and I think especially with the Beardman's play, they forced the team fights too, and it was falling right into their hands. So they, from straight after the laning stage, they started grouping up and taking these fights. And
exactly that. And I mean, it gives no opportunity for a pick-off, which obviously they wanted, and they just couldn't get. I mean, only a few things with it is one major thing I saw so many times is the Clockwork cogs working the opposite way. I mean, how many times, are their own teammates caught?
Yeah, that's the thing with Clockwork. He's
a doubly short on this, isn't he?
A help and a hindrance a lot of the time. I mean, unless you're a veteran Clockwork player, and your team needs to know, what you're doing as well.
Yes, communication, man.
That is key. So if you're just going to hook in and just drop your cogs as soon as you get in there, that can definitely hurt your team a lot more.
Yeah, especially when they have some huge AoE. You've got Skyrath out there, you've got Disruptors out there as well, and
Exorcism.
Exorcism, that's just going to be absolutely smashing you. They can't afford to be stuck in their own cots.
Or the silent Death Prophet silence as well.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it. That did happen on us a few times. That's just one of the points I had. I mean, what we saw, some high play there. I mean, early game, the very quick rotate at the very start of the game. You know, they saw what's happening. They saw this aggressive trial lane coming in, immediately swap around, and it's other stuff like that. Up until, I don't know, about quarter of an hour into it, it was a pretty even game, going both ways. We saw that golden experience graph, you know, up and over.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, it was not a massive lead.
Yeah, what do you think, Spurs, on the evenness of the whole game? I mean, we had Birdman and Francine ahead for probably the majority of the game, but even when they were ahead, they were still losing fights. Sometimes like up near that tier 3 towards the end.
Yeah.
Looked like they stuck around a bit too long. So
Yeah,
what do you
definitely.
thoughts on that one?
Net worth isn't necessarily indicative of how your team will fare in say a team fight, because you know, a big part depends on the lineup and how the fight goes as well, how it's executed. It is interesting to note that One Dream One Team was allowed the Invoker.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they still lost.
picked it.
I was going to say, we were mentioning before about the Invoker first man, first pick. And he still is.
I think that's because they were going for the Death Prophet, honestly. It may be for other reasons, but they replied with the first pick Death Prophet because it wasn't banned. And I think Death Prophet does quite well in the laning stage against Invoker because your Cold Snap doesn't interrupt the Spirit Siphon.
Yeah.
So even when he tries to go on you for a kill, you know, as long as you've got that on him, he can't kill you really.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you think that was part of their plan, letting that through and letting that play into their hands?
Yeah, quite possibly, because you know, if you know you're not gonna have first pick, yet you still allow certain heroes to, then you're prepared to play against them.
Yeah, and they picked up the Disruptor as well, which I think is another great counter to Invoker. Obviously, the silence, great counter to a lot of heroes, but especially one that uses his ability so much, like Invoker does.
Yeah, well, any hero with silence, really.
Yeah, and the Skywrath too.
Yeah.
So those combo together, I think they definitely targeted that pick, and they wanted to shut that down, which I believe they did.
Yeah.
Another interesting pick, the Slark pick.
Yeah,
not something we see too often.
That's the thing. We were discussing outside here that we thought we'd see a Spectre. You guys mentioned that you might, see a Spectre.
Yeah, I would like to see it.
I think
it would have helped the team fight as well a bit more.
I think possibly something a little bit of a harder carry than Slark. I mean, they had the groundwork set up for it to really support a big hero to get him huge. But yeah, I just don't think Slark was the right decision.
He's not fantastic against those big tanky heroes.
No.
And they had the Sven in the safe lane, or he was position 1, I should say. And the Death Prophet as well. So two very tanky cores, which I think I don't 100% like that Slark pick there against those two heroes, because he's more about picking off the back line.
Exactly that, and that possibly may have been a difference if they chose a little bit harder. I mean, we're talking about anti-mage, Spectre.
Yeah.
No, maybe not anti-mage so much.
Well, especially into a lot of silences as well.
Yeah, so
he uses his abilities to escape. So if you're taking him into three silences.
Yeah, I mean, you've got as well as stuff like Fiend's Grips, you've got stuns, you've got anything that can shut him down, and they did. I mean, you can't just rely on a Dark Pact to get rid of him.
All right, going back to the game.
Yeah, no, we've got a new game up already.
Thanks for telling us, Food. So
we'll
send it back. We'll get in the other room.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We're going to hand it over to, he's already off. Medicine's already off. But hand it back to Wandering Bear and Mads for the second and best of 3 versus Bedman and Francine, One Dream, One Team. We'll see you after the game, and all the best. Ciao.
All right, welcome back to
Dire
game 2 of the
team back.
AD2P. Once again, another game here from Beardman and Francine versus team Beardman and Francine, currently labelled Lord Darcy. And we're to go in there to match number 2, Beardman and Francine taking match number 1 in a relatively slow but steady fashion. They took an
Dire
early
team
loss.
back.
Mostly, they get very aggressive
Radiant
composition of one
team
dream, one
back.
team, getting them a lot of kills, and eventually converted it back into an overall win with strong farm, an excellent team fight, pushing it eventually to a win after taking a mid ranks and then pushing the bottom ranks. We see immediate bans here coming out. Tusk and Gyrocopter being banned. Once again, very common bans, and bans that one dream, one team have faced before.
5 seconds
And they,
remaining.
they definitely are an aggressive team, so these are very good choices. One Dream, one team responding with the
Dire
Respect
team
Death Prophet
pick.
ban there. Death Prophet was a very difficult hero for them to deal with last team. And once again, an Oracle ban, just a hero I guess they don't want to play against.
And I'm back,
Should be
Beard.
joined.
How are you?
Nice, joined now by my co-caster there, Mads.
Yeah, we had a
back into
little
the
delay
front.
on getting over back from the desk there. You know, there's a
Yeah,
bit
it's
too
quite
much
alright, I
to
mean.
talk about, but we'll get straight into the second game.
10
Fantastic.
seconds
Right, well,
remaining.
as I was just saying, Beardman and Francine taking the last battle with a slow and steady pace.
5 seconds
Showing
remaining.
that even though they can kind of lose the early game and the kill game, they can still win later.
Radiant team
Banning out,
pick.
once again, that Tusk Gyrocopter there, 2 aggressive heroes, the one during one team, obviously trying to play these very aggressive matchups, whilst one dream, one team banning out Death Prophet, the respect ban there for Godot, and Oracle, also another ban they've just had pretty consistently across the thing, probably just something they don't want to play with. But Beardman and Francine first picking Kunkka, a hero that you in particular have sung the praises of. In fact, last time when we were
10
streaming the
seconds
semi-pros,
remaining.
I believe you gave us talk about your great strategy to offlane Kunkka. I mean, where do you think we're
5
going to be seeing
seconds
Kunkka
remaining.
this match, Mads?
You know, I don't think Beardman and Francine are quite ready
Reserve
for
time.
the just, you know, great hero that offlane Kunkka can be. So I think they're probably just going to run a middle.
Dire
They've
team
had
pick.
they've had a lot of experience with Kunkka, and they like to run him. So after this, we've got some very quick picks coming out from both teams. They
Radiant
know
team
what they want
back.
here. So, what do you think about these?
Yeah, I mean,
Dire team
in
back.
response to a first pick Kunkka, I think Vengeful Spirit and Invoker are both pretty strong heroes. I don't think they really respond to Kunkka anyway, but they are just legitimately strong. Vengeful Spirit able to swap, able to bring a lot of nuke to the team. Obviously, her new Vengeance passive when she
10
dies,
seconds remaining.
significantly reducing the damage. And she's recently been given an Agnum Scepter, which, if we see a game going long, like Beardman and Francine
Radiant
seem to like to
team
do,
back.
then most likely we're probably going to see some Agnum's pickups like we saw last time. Obviously saw an Agnum's Disrupt on Beardman and Francine. Maybe we'll see an Agnum's Vengeful Spirit. Invoker, once again, just the classic pick of the patch. A very, very strong mid laner.
Radiant
And in
team
response,
pick.
Lord Darcy picking up the Bane there. Once again, seeing Bane, very popular hero in the last match as well. He was picked. And yeah, probably looking to do much the same thing there.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
doing-
think that Bane is particularly
Dire
any
team
counter
pick.
pick here. Same with the Vengeful Spirit. I think they're just, you know, very strong support heroes. We saw how much work Bane did last game. I mean, although it didn't win them the game, it definitely had a huge impact. Do you think Lord Darcy will pick up more silencing heroes like they did last game to counter this Invoker? Obviously they can deal with it, and
10
they have shown
seconds
that,
remaining.
and they're not afraid of it either. They haven't banned it out. So what do you think
5
we might see
seconds
here from
remaining.
them?
Well, I mean, it's very, very hard to say.
Reserve time.
They've banned out Undying and Core. Once again, very, very strong
Radiant team
fighty
pick.
heroes. So, I mean, they've removed that possibility from it. In response, one dream, one team, removing Sven. Once again, it seems like a bit of a respect ban there. And the Darkseer also removes another strong offlaner. Lord Darcy picking up Magnus in response. Magnus a relatively strong laner, but I don't think he's going to have his time against an Invoker if he does go middle. So it'll be interesting we see.
I think we might see him offlane.
10
I've
seconds
seen
remaining.
Beardman and Francine run Kunkka plus
5
Magnus
seconds
before.
remaining.
I think they like that combo together, purely for the Empower and the RP combo into the.
Reserve time.
It's very strong. Hopefully we'll get to see some flashy plays from them. I know they have practiced
Dire
these two
team
heroes
pick.
together, so we'll see what happens there with that. We got Beastmaster and Lich picked up for One Dream here. So, what do you think they're trying to pull off with this here? Obviously Lich, he's a great laner. So do you think that's more to secure the laning phase?
Yeah, I mean, we see Beardman and Francine seem to once again be going for a very
Radiant
strong
team
team
back.
composition, accented, as I say it, by this Faceless Void pickup, Chronosphere, Reverse Polarity, Boat, and then they've got Nightmare and Fiend's Grip and the Enfeeble.
10 seconds
All
remaining.
things that shut down large fights, remove a lot of different heroes from play. I mean,
5 seconds
Bane doesn't have
remaining.
the same degree of AoE that other heroes do, but they do have a lot of kind of like just strong team fight, very, very
Reserve
strong
time.
team fight. Beastmaster, a hero that can kind of deal with that team fight to an extent,
Dire
quite
team
tanky,
ban.
quite strong, provides a lot of scouting with the bird, something that's going to be really great for them against a matchup like this. I mean, Void, Magnus, both able to engage very quickly. Kunkka also probably going to be able to engage very quickly once he gets a blink. Or if he chooses to get a blink, that is. And then we see a
Radiant
Lich, another
team
hero who
picked.
deals really well with these team fights. He's going to just throw down a Chain Frost, and suddenly they're going to want to split up, they're going to want to be separated. So if he can actually stay away from these Chronos reverse polarities, and then throw out a Chain Frost, he's going to make the opposing team try and separate, and then give his team kind of some time to recover from the strong initiation that Beardman and Francine has. Is probably what I'd be saying is their best bet.
10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
it's going to be interesting to see how One Dream One Team
5
runs
seconds remaining.
this lineup. Especially with the Lich there, they might,
Reserve
you
time.
might see him rotate around to mid to help out the Invoker there. And because I think we're going to see the Kunkka Bane teaming up mid. We've got a Spectre here
Dire
as well,
team
so
picked.
we'll see a lot of the scouting with the Hawk, plus the spectral Spectre's ultimate there jumping in. So maybe they're looking at more of a scout and pick off lineup. But with Dazzle picked up from Beardman and Francine, that really solidifies their team fight. It's going to be very hard to take a 5v5 here against this team.
Definitely, I mean, yeah, Dazzle, a fantastic hero. Shallow Grave, I mean, really just one of the greatest support skills time. Weave, providing him a great deal of reduced armor, which is going to work great because, I mean, Kunkka is cleaving. Magnus has his built-in cleave. He's going to empower Faceless Void. Faceless Void also is having some cleave now, so all that physical damage going out in a team that can actually group them up very, very well. I mean, Magnus definitely able to kind of put a team together. We could
10
see some
seconds remaining.
huge 5-man wipes. Potentially, if One Dream One Team aren't careful about their
5
positioning.
seconds remaining.
And I mean, this is really going to be a game of positioning.
Yeah, for sure. With all these team fights, if Dream steps out of line, makes the wrong move, they are going to be in trouble very quickly. What do you think the lanes here, especially for Beardman and Francine, are going to be? Is this, we could see something weird like a safe lane Magnus even, get his early farm up, get his blink that much faster, if we do in fact see the Kunkka mid. We know Void is mostly played in the offlane these days, so they could do a couple different things with these lanes. They could even run the Magnus mid like we talked about, but yeah, any ideas or any preferences?
It's very, very hard to say. I mean, what I would be looking at probably, a Faceless Void makes the most sense to go to a safe lane. I mean, he's the hero that's probably going to do the most with that farm. However, Beardman and Francine do have experience with Kunkka, so they could potentially put a Kunkka there, which would be a very big call, but could be very strong for them. Brings a lot of push. A Kunkka with fast Daedalus and phase boots, blink, that kind of stuff could be very, very threatening. To this lineup, if they're able to get big reverse polarities, I mean, a Magnus in mid isn't going to be the worst, but a Kunkka in mid versus an Invoker is going to be an incredibly difficult lane for them to take. So I think I'd be more inclined to see Magnus going there. He's able to sit back, he's able to get bottle crow occasionally and just abuse shockwaves to get enough CS to get his blink dagger in a reasonable amount of time. He's not going to win the lane by any means, but all he needs is to get his blink dagger out of it, and they can start doing their thing, which is going to be Magnus RPs into huge team fights. On the other hand, Void is a hero who can do a huge amount if he gets into the team fight, if he gets a decent amount of farm, and Kunkka could potentially do a lot too. I mean, not a pick that we've seen a lot, not something we have a lot of experience with. so it's difficult to say. Yeah, I mean, I think that a Kunkka offlane, which you're very, very fond of, could definitely work here.
I mean, I would
when
love
we're
to see
looking
it. I would really love to see Kunkka offlane.
Well, I think
you
that
guys
with-
have been telling me it's not a thing, so I would really love to just be able to say that this happened at this level of Dota, and I was a pioneer of it.
Well, I mean, Kunkka is a hero who definitely could fit into an offlane role. I mean, it is potential. But if we look at the lineup from one Dream, one team, I mean, heroes that are going to be in the offlane, probably looking at either a Lich or a Beastmaster. Both heroes that Kunkka is going to match up fine.
Well, possibly both as well. They could just decide to do a really strong dual lane there, but
Yeah, so I mean, they could put Kunkka in off lane on the safe lane and give him like kind of the safe lane as a solo. But we are actually going to see, it looks like Magnus going to the off lane, throw down his ward there.
So
while the rest of the team.
looking at Dream's team, as it were, what do you think their sort of strategy is they're going for? Obviously the Invoker, who's good in any situation, but especially with the Spectre.
Well, I mean, they seem to be almost kind of playing reactive to Beardman and Francine's strong team fight last time, and they're once again relatively strong team fight. Like I said earlier, they have decent counter initiation. Obviously, Invoker's Deafening Blast is great if they can keep an Invoker out of CC. If the Beastmaster is out of CC, then Roar is going to be great to counter initiation. If they can keep the Lich out of the CC, then the Lich Chain Frost is going to make people want to split up. Otherwise, it could be like pretty disastrous. So they really want to just worry about their position. They can keep their positioning solid if they can stay away from Beardman and Francine's initiates, make them take suboptimal initiations, RPs that get 2 to 3 heroes, even 4 heroes potentially if the right hero is out. Then they're able to turn these initiations very quickly and make it like a very threatening. Magnus though, looking to try and I'm not really sure, but he does manage to get the bounty room. Will he escape?
What a player!
No, he's got the cold snap on him there. He's slowed. He's got the Frost Nova and the Lich. He's gonna get the first blood.
You know, it's all about asserting dominance in the early game, especially with the bounty runes. And pick out the bounty runes in the face of certain death, as that just shows how good of a player he is.
Well, I mean, it is offlane Magnus, and it is going to be probably something where he's not going to get a lot. So the bounty rune is definitely important. And on top of that, I mean, he does start with boots, 2 clarities, and some tangos, so definitely ready for this lane. We would probably just sit back and shockwave. In the mid lane there, we see Bane kind of chilling out, but Kunkka mid lane, like you thought it would be probably the case with GoDot there once again. And we have a Lich Invoker dual lane here to face Kunkka, which is pretty threatening. But on the top lane, yeah.
Looks like they have picked the Lich to secure that lane for the Invoker. I mean, the sacrifice, although he hasn't skilled it now, but it is, so crucial early in denying farm.
Yeah, absolutely, and we see Dazzle here kind of fighting a little bit with Beastmaster. Not the best choice. Beastmaster currently with the highest base damage at level 1 in the game, with a whopping 66. We see Void on the other hand kind of chilling out there. Keen to do what he can as Beastmaster gets a little bit deep. Void looks not able to do anything. On the mid lane though, we see the wraparound from Lich there, looking to potentially get GoDot a little bit of harassment, does manage to do so.
GoDot just faking out the torrent there. Great play.
Yep,
It's good to start playing minor games
cancel.
early.
Mads, for those of you who don't know, very big proponent of Kunkka in all games. Great fan. Huge.
I mean, he's a hero that you can just... Oh, look at that. So now he's actually landed one. It's easy because he
and the
thought it was a
Invoker
fake.
Invoker in a very difficult position. I mean, this is quite impressive. I mean, I can't say that I would have expected to see a Kunkka doing so well against an Invoker, but he definitely has pulled it off. As Lich comes in along with the Bane.
And we saw another two fake torrents out of the Kunkka there. He's really getting inside the head of Invoker and really making him just rethink his life in this middle lane.
Fake Torrent Master we see on top. Beastmaster getting a little bit far ahead. Maybe to get level 3 though, he's doing pretty well there against that. Dazzle not really able to push him out, but on the mid lane again, maybe we see him go in. No. See Dream Team just kind of back away from this Kunkka cleave in an awkward situation. Mads, though, all up in those trees on the bot lane, getting that Shockwave CS, this Vengeful Spirit, trying to do anything about it, but not really able to. And this Magnus seems to be doing great. Also level 3 at 2 minutes for an offline, that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that Venge can do, especially now that Mag's picked up boots. So he is running significantly faster than Vengeful Spirit. So even if the Venge gets a stun off, I think he's still fine.
Meg actually started with bows. I think partly probably from that the bounty rune that he got earlier, he was also able to get some tango clarities. Great. But yeah, just relatively standard lane. There we see Magnus kind of backing away on the bottom lane from the Vengeful Spirit. We've got a dual lane mid, something that I don't see very often, but seems to be working out for them there. Bane putting down a Nightmare on the ledge, and then a Torrent coming through too. I see any wax here? No, but the Bane could go down to Invoker. A bit of Drain Sap, and the Force Spirit is going to finish it off. Going after this Invoker. He wants the kills, doesn't have the X marks the spot yet, but is able to get a Torrent. He backs away, Fairy Fire goes down, kicks around to try and get the
second
lich.
one he's used.
He's going to finish it off. Is he going to get the lich as well though? No, Vengeful Spirit showing up. Let him get out as we see. Them kind of all just back away. Venge slept. Kunkka continues. And Beastmaster continuing to trade on the top lane there with this Dazzle. Slowly losing health.
Lost the bird there.
But
good work there.
definitely doing a lot to them. Void coming in, looking to do anything. Unfortunately, Time Warp no longer slowing. And that as we see this very aggressive mid lane going in. And Bane coming up trading the Venge Spirit. And as we go to some stats, we're seeing the last hits here. Spectre very high as well as Void, also very high, just kind of safely farming away. Lots of denies on both sides. Kunkka though, leading the Invoker, 24 to 12 CS, now 13. So this Kunkka mid lane really paying off against them, and definitely an unorthodox mid lane I wouldn't expect to see working out so well against the hero of the patch, essentially Invoker. What are you contributing to this, man?
I think Godot's experience, especially on this hero, he's played it a lot, so he knows how to play it. Invoker not being, the tankiest of heroes, and the cleave just slowly whittling him down, and having the Bane around helps a lot too. So he knows that he can play aggressively, and if he gets gone on, the Bane will be there to just drop a
on the
nightmare.
bot lane, we might see a very, very dead Magnus as he gets caught out, still trying to do his tree tricks. A Sunstrike is coming down to finish him off as he's not able to escape. Both Lich and Venge kind of rotating around to ensure that's going to happen.
So, in terms of the lanes in general, they've been fairly passive apart from these few scuffles in the mid lane. Obviously, that Magnus, he's escaped a lot of deaths so far, but once they had those rotations come out, there wasn't a whole lot he could do.
Magnus almost level 6 though, pretty good for an offlaner, and with like an average amount of CS, 9-0 for CS, that's not too bad.
Yeah, I don't think he's too upset about dying there, especially when you get those rotations.
See a smoke coming from Bane, he kind of feints towards the off lane, and then Godot baiting it in, both able to dodge the torrent. They deal with the high ground ward, and Bane kind of waiting in the wings, looking to move in. Godot
He's got the boat.
And as Bane gets
this nightmare into torrent boat combo, so will be incredibly powerful, and I'm sure we'll see it very soon. It's just such an easy setup.
It looks like in the meantime we've missed the Beastmaster dying in the off lane. Relatively unfortunate for him.
Yeah, that would have been a Chronosphere dropped for that. I can't quite see. Yes,
yep, Chronosphere is in fact on cooldown.
Yeah,
the level 6 void, probably very recently 6.
Not a hero that can do much about that, unfortunately.
Nope, not soloed anyway, although now with 2 boars throwing out their harassment on the void there, giving them a nice slow, and that poison slowing attack and movement.
The Kunkka stacking up here in the jungle. Gonna take some extra farm.
We see on the top lane, maybe going on the Beastmaster again? No. Back away, but he does lose a large chunk of health. But yeah, Kunkka definitely go hard for the stacks there, and there is significant amounts there. As he torrents it, we're probably going to see a Tidebringer just to finish very nicely. With that, if we go to the net worth, we see, yep, Kunkka and Void in a very solid position. there, just slightly ahead of the Spectre, and Invoker, almost 1,000 gold behind the Conquer. So, yeah, a very, very successful lane for them as Bane manages to catch out the Vengeful Spirit. And they convert it into a kill though.
Invoker there, that was a great play. He used his Forge Spirit to cancel that. Looks like he's still
Great, but
gonna die.
Meg able to get up there. Fairy Fire. And the Shockwave in 4 seconds.
Get denied?
Tries to
Not
deny
quite.
himself, but the Bane finishing it off. And now, Kunkka with the X-Marks Torrent boat onto the ledge, getting a second pick off. Although not quite hitting the boat.
Too much power behind those engines, I think.
Well, I think realistically, what we have to understand is that the boat knew it was going to. They knew they were going to get the kills, so he aimed the boat at a little bit extra farm in the jungle there.
Yeah, he's just that good of a player, I think.
Absolutely.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And we see now the Empower going down on the Kunkka, making him cleave even more. Very threatening lane.
Yeah, we talked about this combo, the Mag plus Kunkka. It means that he doesn't need to get a Battle Fury.
Coming around onto
looks
this
like
Kunkka
he's in trouble though.
Cross Blast is coming in too, and the Sunstrike goes down to finish him off.
Like a match already.
Yeah, that's a
He's a
nice
solid
play.
gank there.
That shows you the power of Spectre as well as a safe laner. He didn't even have to leave the lane. Look, he's still over here farming, so he can just drop in any time and get a kill.
Able to get a nice assist there, kind of increases gold output. Very fantastic. Really, really great smoke gank, turning the game a little bit in favour, especially against the Kunkka, who was so far ahead already. That that gold's pretty special.
Yeah,
Stezzle moves to kill the bird.
Regeneration.
Little small blip on the graph that otherwise is going quite nicely in the way of Beardman and Francine here. So it looks like they're going to clear out a big stack here with the Kunkka plus the Magnus.
Dark light.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be very successful. They've been recently, having seen this, they might look to contest from one dream, one team there, as we see Lich kind of moving down, maybe looking to scout.
Yeah, he's going to ward here, so they will see this happening.
Yeah, they are going to see it happening. That is a very big stack. I mean, if we go over to the network graph, we see around about 2,000 gold right now, but when that stack clears, that's going to be a pretty frightening change, I'm guessing. Torrent goes down, not too effective against H, unfortunately.
Haste.
Yep, and here we go. It looks like Lich maybe going to try and contest or anything like that, but getting nightmared by the Bane. That could be an easy kill. Torrent coming down, along with the football. Both going to hit this time. Tasty Lich to go with those Ancients. Beastmaster, though, getting way too deep in, grabbing haste, and having to back away from there.
Looks like they still might want to contest this here, which is questionable with the whole of Beardman and Francine here.
Well, with Ancient's experience now shared in the area, I mean, it's possible that they could be looking to just steal a little bit. Vengeful Spirit getting put on the high ground, Void jumping up to the wrong place. As Torrent goes down, that's going to finish her off. Oh, no, the Ancient Dragon takes the kill, having none of that business.
Dazzle questioning the plays.
Very questionable plays, unfortunately, all in the wrong place. So Kunkka still looking to finish off there. Getting pretty low on health though, and out of bottle charges. Gonna have to
Let's still worry about the
leash those traps
Sunstrike. Is Invoker gonna go for this?
Looks like Void picking off Spectre.
He does have it
as well.
skilled up. He's got the 3 exhorts, so
And they can see this here.
I think they're pinging
Pretty
it.
big from the Invoker. Back at the gold graph here, so briefly we see a 1k swing.
Here it is.
Not quite enough though.
Unlucky.
And I think the Admiral's rum there saving Kunkka from the death.
Yeah, actually you're right there. The 50% reduction in damage. I believe it's 50%. Is that correct?
Admiral's rum receives bonus movement speed and a delayed reaction to 15% of all incoming damage, allowing Dazzle to save him, probably just in time, yeah?
Dire's
That's
middle
why
tower
you always
is under
use your
attack.
ult on creeps, kid.
Invisibility.
It's perfect, he saw through Invoker's clever ruse to use Sunstrike.
Dire's top
Right, what
tower
is
is under attack. Dire's structures
We see
are fortified.
one dream, one team looking to push this tower once again. Throwing down some damage here, but Beardman and Francine rotating around from the jungle. The Vengeful
Smoked
Spirit
up.
with the invisibility room does see them.
Fighting into a boat here. He faked it.
There we go, the Fiend's Grip, but the Raw counter Fiend's Grip. Hex is coming through too, and a Shallow Grave going down on the vein. As the boat comes in, hitting 2. Swap on the Magnus, pulling him away, and can they manage to just ping this Invoker? It's almost nothing if he can just cleave them. No, not quite. The Chain Frost comes down, and we see exactly that point I was making before. They split up for it. Arcane Missile going down, stopping the Void, but the Lich is going to go down, and I think that's going to be Avenged just follow up too. Fucking very awkward there. For one dream, one team. I mean, they tried to get their book off. They did some work. I mean, the Beastmaster Raw counter initiation, Frost, Chain Frost, kind of pushing for part, but they just weren't able to back out in time, and or in an awkward position they had to leave.
Yeah, off the bat there, it looked actually quite nice for Dream there. Oh, the solo ult here. It's maybe the death of Beastmaster.
And the Torrent to go with it. That is in fact the
Radiant's top
Beastmaster.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, so it did look okay. They had the Sunstrike combo, the Spectre jumped in, they did a lot of damage. I believe, who was that on? Bane, I think. But they couldn't quite kill him off in time, and then the boat came in, and yeah,
And
it was
yeah,
all
the
over
Shadow
from
Grave
there.
as well on the Bane. I mean, they actually managed to stop the Bane's Fiend Grip on Invoker, giving him a chance to escape on a very, very low amount of health. But unfortunately, they wasted a Beastmaster Raw for it. Something that probably could have been saved for a little bit later, but I think was actually the right choice at the time. And so putting them in just kind of a difficult position afterwards. Chain Frost kind of counter-initiating to a degree, but they just didn't have enough to follow up with it. And that Beastmaster Raw is going to be very, very key in these team fights, I think. So with throw it down is going to be very important.
So what are we looking at in terms of items? I'm particularly interested in like the Spectre. Is he rushing Radiance? Oh no, he has gone for the Badman build, I believe, with the urn and the drums there. So very early game orientated.
Absolutely. We'll see him,
Radiant's
I'm
bottom
guessing,
tower
picking up a
is under
defusal pretty
attack.
shortly to continue that early game strong fight. See a smoke coming in there in the middle. Swap onto the Bane.
Appalling!
A bit of a lag
Nice.
spike there for me as he just kind of
Radiant's
disappears.
bottom
Yeah,
tower
they
has fallen.
layered up the skills quite nicely.
Dire's
They
middle
swapped
tower is
into
under
Raw
attack.
into Sunstrike. So, and who picked up that kill?
I mean, one dream, one
Dire's
team.
top
A
tower
team
is
that
under attack.
really has showed us they are able to get these picks perfectly. They can layer their skills together fantastically, but once it comes to a team fight, they just don't seem to be able to throw down in the same way as they have been.
Yeah, I think if they can coordinate before the ganks, they can pull them off
Time is
quite
money.
flawlessly. But in the midst of a team fight, it's another story, isn't it? Kanka might be in trouble here.
Yeah, puts an X down, but the Arcane Missile hitting him Sunstrike, but just a little bit too early, not quite able to seize either
He's
more.
gonna
After
boat
the boat comes
himself.
down too.
He's so fast
Dire's
with the
top
phase
tower
bits there.
is under attack.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the armlet will
400
get him
move
as
speed.
well to get him through the room and down. But in the mid, we see Void coming in with a chrono, hitting on this ledge. Big damage coming out.
3-man up
Magnus
there.
throws down. Yep. Deafening Blast is going to keep the Beastmaster alive, but I mean, once
20
again, they
health
just got
there.
caught in that awkward positioning.
Radiant's middle tower
Positioning
is under
is the
attack.
game right now. I mean, one team have to keep the exact positioning that Beardman and Francine can't get them with these big AoEs, and it's going to be very difficult with so many big AoEs they have to deal with.
Yeah, they
So we see this mid tower.
The- Magnus does not have his blink yet, but he's
Radiant's
not
middle
far
tower
off.
is under
So
attack.
with that
Middle
tower,
has
he's
fallen.
pretty much got it. So once he gets that, it changes the game again for
Haste!
Dream here. As Kanka going Godot on solo on the Spectre here. Just a bit of harass by the looks of it.
But Magnus, he wants it. Goes down the skewer to try and get it out, but not quite able to. As
She is
shields
out of there.
TP out. A few Vagrant skills getting thrown out, but not enough as Magnus does get his Blink Dagger now. 17 minutes for an offlane Magnus Blink Dagger is not too bad.
Yeah, that's fairly reasonable. He has died a couple times as well, so I don't think you'd be too unhappy with that.
No, not at all. I mean, it's a pretty solid position for him there. We see looking over at Invoker, does have the Midas there. Hand of Midas looking to draw this game out.
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of Midases get picked up in Invokers because they just prioritize levels over sort of any items, really. Do you think that's the pick here, considering they are in, they have been in a lot of team fights so far?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you know that Beerman and Francine's game is late
Radiant's
game,
top
then
tower is
it's
under
not always
attack.
the worst choice to try and beat them in your own game, but I think I would have probably preferred to see an Invoker going slightly more aggressive and looking to kind of gain that
Radiant's
early game
top
advantage
tower
with
has
different things.
fallen.
You see a fight happening there, the boat going out, not really converting into anything. Bang, throwing out the Fiends, got a big
Great
void ult
control
in.
here from
Pick them up.
Beardman.
Yeah, fantastic control. Unfortunately, in response to the Void ulti we see, the Beastmaster Raw coming out doing exactly what we thought it would. And Void potentially getting caught out here, although a couple of nice, timely time walks is locking him down, keeping him alive. So Beardman and Francine backing out.
Yeah, so they just lose a Bane there. It could have gone a lot worse for them since they were all on those stairs where the Invoker initiated on them.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Boat not really doing quite enough for them there. Putting in a very good position. Luckily,
Dire's
the
middle
Void
tower
ult
is
kind of
under
coming
attack.
around to
Yeah,
allow them a safe disengage.
we had the Nightmare on one, we had the Fiend's Grip on another, and we had another one in the Chronosphere, so they really had a lot of time to think about what they wanted to do there.
And it was in fact back out. And again, we see the pure strength of this team fight. I mean, they have so many AoEs, so many lockdowns, so many ways to shift fights in their favour. Beastmaster coming in, and he gets hit by the boat there after X, and nicely finished off. And I mean, Beerman and Francine now kind of even
Dire's
beating
top
one
tower
team, one
is
team
under
at their own
attack.
game, getting the picks,
Dire's
showing the
structures
strength
are
of their
fortified.
vision. And just kind of getting these back ups as they also get the Lich and kind of start to snowball as we see that in net worth, Beerman and
Dire's
Francine
top
having
tower
just over
has
7,500 gold
Radiant's
lead,
middle tower is
along
under
with
attack.
experience over a 5,000 gold lead, even despite the Invoker's Midas. So a very, very strong.
Yeah, at this point,
position to be in there.
Dream
Radiant's middle
can't even
tower
afford
has
to
fallen.
be, under their towers alone. If they get X'd, it's pretty much game over for them unless they have backup. So they're going to have to play extremely carefully.
Yeah, well, I mean, we see a Blink Dagger pick up there now for Kunkka, Yule Scepter for Invoker, so both kind of moving into some of their more core items. Yeah, both teams kind of just backing away, resorting back to farming. I mean, one Dream, one team obviously needing to make a move here. What do you think's their best bet going forward here? A very difficult situation. They're quite behind.
It's really tough. Obviously they can't take a 5-man engagement. I think that's long gone for them. I think they need to try and get pickoffs, but again, it's going to be extremely hard with how well Beerman and Francine are sticking together as a team, and they have decided to smoke up themselves. So this could be a dead Beastmaster, but it looks like he's going to dodge this one.
Looks like they're going to go all in on mid and try and get these pickoffs here. Be able to pick off this Spectre
being
and
pinged
then
out
that could
here.
be a very threatening attack.
They know.
I mean, a very, very difficult position for one team. I mean, all of their wards defensive. They're not really able to see what's going on in the safe jungle, in the safe parts of their, in the enemy jungle. As they kind of just move back. Beerman and Francine clearing the jungle, seeing that no one's there, they decide to go ahead and take this Roshan. And I don't know that one Dream, one team can really do a whole lot about this. I mean, obviously scouting it out, but what is their response with 2 heroes already on the top lane?
Yeah, they're
both
just going to try and trade, I think, but it's going down so fast that they're not even going to get a tower in return.
Roshan
Yeah,
has
and we can
fallen
see,
to the down.
there we go, the Void picking up in ages. Pretty an incredibly strong hero, and I mean, with the new Time Walk, we saw him just before with the Chrono. He took a huge amount of damage, but it wasn't enough, and he just Time Walked it off, restoring around about 50% of his HP, so very, very strong.
He's another hero that
Dire's
benefits
top
from the
tower
Empower
is
as
under
well.
attack.
We have talked about with the Kunkka, but I mean, Void, he's a hero that, he likes Battle Fury too, especially with his Chronosphere, so another one that works really well with the Empower from Magnus, so this team does look like it has been constructed for that purpose.
Definitely, but Invisible Void down in the jungle there getting spotted out by some nice ward placement from one Dream, one team. They can see him rotating through.
Yeah, Spectre
Dazzle
very
damage, yeah.
playing very carefully here. He looks like he might even
Yeah.
get soloed here. Nice
That
bit.
would be a solid Spectre. I mean, they try to come back and take the Void against this Venge, but I mean, we could easily just turn and take out the Venge too at this point, I think. And here he
Radiant's
goes.
bottom
The
tower
try.
is under attack.
Cecil also comes around and they've trapped her out now. Boat goes through to try and delay the opponents and just picking off a nice
It's
tasty
like
niche
all
there.
over the map.
Absolutely, and I
Radiant's
mean,
bottom tower is under
one
attack.
team, one team just getting split up. I mean, they're not going to get hit by these big AoE ultis, but very difficult to do anything when you're in this kind of
Radiant's
situation. I mean,
bottom
they're so just behind, and they can't really take these kind of 1v1s or 1v2s or 1v3s, but they can't even group up, because if they group up, they're so susceptible to the huge amount of AoE stun and the weave and all the different AoEs that they're able to throw down.
Radiant
I mean, big
structures are
Sunstrike doing a lot to the Bane, I'm not really sure they can do much else to him.
I like this Moonshard as well from the Void here. You know, that interaction with the bashes and the
Radiant's bottom
Chronosphere
tower is under attack.
just showed how powerful that was.
Absolutely.
This could be the last fight here for Dream if they don't play it well enough. The Chrono is down,
Yeah, I mean,
so they should probably
looks like
fight now.
this. Oh, there we go though. The Chaos Meteor coming down, hitting the Void, and he's going to backtrack it, but a little bit too late. Needed to backtrack slightly earlier to try and get that heal off. And it's a very, very low tower here. I mean, Spectre now looking to get the Radiant. But I mean, probably really the only thing she can do. So Raw goes down the Void, and they're going to start throwing down on him, but he still has an Aegis up right here. And the boat's going to come and save him, and reverses a bit of that damage, and Dazzle just heals back up.
Radiant's
This Conker
bottom
takes down the tower. You see Beastmaster's Wild Axes come through.
He's still got the Aegis too.
And he's not interested either, he's just going for the the barracks there. That's the whole team kind of just like mill around trying to do anything. We see the Frost, Chain Frost go down, probably a little bit too early, but it does kind of encourage them to back off slightly, give them some breathing room, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough now that they know that they've got both Beastmaster and Roar, and now Venge Swap, and there goes the Chronosphere, ripping the Invoker apart, and that's going to be an easy race there. Spectre only able to get the Sacred Relic, not really able to do too much to them at the moment. Torrent goes down too, along with the RP, and that's going to pick up the Spectre. Really damaging the Vengeful Spirit there too, with the Shockwave from Magnus. They're just going to back off and finish off this
Radiant's
barracks.
bottom
And,
barracks are under attack.
yeah, one train, one team, looking like they're having a lot of trouble. Not really able to manage what's going on. And this Conker pick
Radiant's
against the
middle
Invoker,
tower
very,
is
very
under
fascinating.
attack.
And there's the
That's
GG.
GG.
One dream, one team. Certainly really not able to do much more to this. No GG out. So yeah, today we learned
Radiant's
it's
middle
Conker,
barracks
fantastic
are under
counter of
attack.
Invoker. And I'll pass it back to you guys over to the analysis test. And I'll see you for the next set of the upper bracket.
See you next game, Bear.
Back after that other next game. Unfortunately, this game was a bit more of a one-sided landslide, I think.
Yeah,
Just
a little bit.
a little bit. I mean, the previous game that we saw was very kind of topsy-turvy, up and down, but this year was just straight down.
Yeah, it showed you the strength of Birdman and Francine's team. Showed you the coordination that they can have.
Definitely.
And yeah, they just had arguably slightly better picks. I feel that they had more of an idea of what they wanted to do with their picks.
And I think they're a bit more comfortable with their heroes as well. I mean, you've seen Kunka come out. He's quite a well-played hero by DotA. And as you can see from there, he was just dismantling that team piece by piece.
Yeah, they love the Magnus Conquer as well. Also with the Bane, we saw how disgusting that combo is. The Nightmare into free torrent.
Nightmare into free torrent, and just from
and then in comes the boat, and it's all over from there. So unless they had another hero behind him to take the Nightmare off him, it was pretty much.
It's a free setup, and that combo works exceptionally well. And as we saw, they did put it to good use. Obviously, just taking heroes left, right, and centre.
What do you think about the other land spoods? So we had the Magnus up against the Spectre, who I know you've played a lot there. So, what are your thoughts on that Spectre pick in this game in particular? Was it the right decision, or did they need to sort of draft around that a little bit better? Or
Come on, Spectre in every game is a good decision. That's smooth.
can't go wrong.
Yeah, definitely with Spectre, like, you do want to go a little more of a draft where you can make space for her.
Mhm.
So like your other four definitely have to be very, team
Mobile.
fight oriented, mobile, and be able to hold their own without her coming in. Because she only can once every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you really want the other four heroes being rolling as a group, just doing their thing, but leaving that Spectre.
But they had quite, I want to say, passive heroes. Well, they didn't seem to synergize as much from where I was sitting anyway. So the Lich didn't seem to do a whole lot of work for them early. We didn't really see the Beastmaster roaming around trying to get as many kills. We did see a few good setups. We saw that one where Beastmaster Raw, the swap, into the Raw, into the Sunstrike. And I think, did we need to see more of that coming out from them? Or by the time their ultimates and whatnot were up, it was too late, do you think?
Yeah, because you speak of roaming, but you mustn't forget that you only get roam at level 6. You only get swap at level 6.
That makes it on paper Liches against their team seem very good. Like you were saying in the pre-draft, in the draft, that it does force their team to split up a bit. And even when they initiate, it does seem like a good counter initiate. As Chain Frost is going to direct them, but we didn't really see Chain Frost do too much. I mean,
I can remember, I think 2 fights where I saw it used.
I don't think I didn't see it actually happen too much. So.
No, and that also speaks to Beardman and Franson's positioning as well. We saw it used once up top, and immediately, as soon as they saw it come out, they back off and they split.
It got about 2 bounces.
Yeah,
it's exactly that.
And especially in that last fight down at the bottom tier 3, they pretty much baited it out. It came out, they split. I think it hit 1 or 2 heroes. And then they're like, sweet, it's the Chain Frost now. We don't have to worry about that. And they just go back in. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that, they thought they were going to be fighting into that sort of, come at you aggressive team fight. So that maybe that was the pick. Or do you think it was more securing that lane? I mean, he didn't even skill the sacrifice level 1 either. So.
Yeah. Also, thinking about it though, you've got Magnus, both Magnus and Void both have very quick, sort of with his charge, and he's going to be picking up a blink on Magnus. Void's got his time walk out of there. They're just going to take any damage off that he got hit by the frost anyways. With the changes to Void, 40 mana, very spammable ability this time warp now.
They couldn't kill him very easily.
No.
They had to lay out all of their skills on top of each other to kill pretty much anyone on the side of
Kunka has X as well.
Yeah.
He X's himself and then goes forward and goes forward for a hit and comes back.
And there's nothing they could really do about that. And they were playing around their ultimates as well, especially the Raw. I think some of the only kills that were got on the side of Dream was from the Raw into the Sunstrike, and that can only happen so often. So what are you doing the rest of the time? Really, you're being afraid.
Well, but tell you what, that Sunstrike on Kunka, where he's incredibly lucky to live just because of the Kunka's rum. Yeah, the rum. He just happened to boat that creep cab, get Sunstrike. I was like, took me a few seconds to click away, didn't die.
Yeah,
rum.
I thought it was just his high baseball, but he only had like 250.
Yeah. And then that 50% delayed damage is huge. It's like you say, it's pure damage, but pure damage still, is delayed by that.
He must have known it was coming. I don't know.
I think he was just flat throwing those creeps, to be honest. I mean, he was straight at the creeps, trying to wipe them out. He didn't have a lot of health, to be honest.
It was very lucky, wasn't it?
And I just like, someone. Lady Luck must love him today.
I mean, we don't actually see a lot of Kunka at all
No,
honestly.
and one lane he's very absent from would be the off lane. Just mentioning that, man.
I mean,
We are not
I
pioneers
think,
just yet.
I think he's absent from all lanes at the moment. So do you think this team picks him just because they've got a Kunka player and he likes playing the hero, or they've got the strategy around the Kunka?
I reckon it's just because he's very, very comfortable with him, quite skilled with him. And honestly, people don't respect him.
No.
And you pop in a Kunka and professionally, even semi-pro, and people not quite sure how to deal with him. I mean, you generally don't have to deal with him, so you know.
And again, they let the Invoker through. They're not worried about it.
No,
They're not worried about the look of it. So last game they obviously drafted, tanky and silences around it. This game they drafted a Kunka
Yeah.
in the middle because that was.
And he
that
did
was
very
after.
well in the game. Do you see?
Yeah.
He was, Invoker was quite under the gun early game. I
He
wasn't
had like
expecting it.
double the CS, I believe.
Yeah, and he was just getting done. I mean, until it turned into a bit of a dual lane in the middle.
I mean, I think it started as a dual lane. I think they went into it knowing it was a dual lane
Yeah,
because the Kunka wanted the Bane for those setups that we
Yeah.
talked about.
like the nightmare into the torrent into
And I don't think they needed the Lich anywhere else.
the
They could have put him with the Beastmaster, but he already had such a terrible. The Invoker had a terrible time mid.
Yeah.
Imagine if the Lich wasn't there. It was going to be.
Yeah, they definitely wanted him sacrificing those creeps.
Yeah, and just. But I don't think it really showed much effect, honestly. The Kunka still got.
He was
far more CS.
roughly always twice in Invoker CS during the laning phase.
Yeah.
and it told it. I mean, later on he just
And so if he's not winning the lane for you, he's arguably not. He's a pretty useless pick apart from his ult, in fights, really. I mean, the armor helps, but when you're up against stuff like Cleave, which ignores armor,
exactly it's useless against it. So
yeah, it's.
Yeah, I think the Venge was meant to counter with Swap, to counter the Bane counter combo. Either when you've just been nightmare and you get swapped out immediately, or even when the combo is taking place. Say you're up in the air because of torrent or the shit's coming down you. So
Maybe the bench sacrifices itself.
Yeah.
But did you see much of that?
No, honestly, because I think a lot of the time the bench wasn't there.
No. And then I think that's possibly a little bit of the problem as well. They seemed a bit split up all the time.
Yeah, they always seem to get picked off.
A lot of pickoffs in that game. Not much, team orientated. Sort of didn't really roll as a group.
Yeah, I mean the few team fights that they did have with each team, they were severely one-sided. That was obviously because of the heroes.
Yeah.
First of all, because
I mean, we have these huge AOE helps.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, Chrono, Magnus.
Unless the spec gets a Radiance, there's not much impact that their team has. So, what do you think about the item build on Spectre as well, Spud? Since you play a lot of Spectres.
Yeah, we actually mentioned at the same time.
At the exact same time, like that's the bad man build. Immediately we hear from you. That's the bad man.
Bad man's a 8K Spectre player, and he loves going with phase earn
drums.
So it's a very tanky early game.
And focusing on that focusing on the early game where you can get a bit scrappy, because Spectre very early on in the game isn't actually that. He's quite fragile. That's the time that you've really got to take him down a notch.
I mean, Batman and Francine didn't seem to worry about the Spectre, honestly. They didn't put a huge amount of pressure on him.
No.
He just ended up dying in fights. And I think because they were fine, because they were winning the other lanes, and they're like, well, we're trading Void farm with Spectre. They were completely fine because they knew that they were going to have this all-out aggression, and that the game wasn't going to go long enough for Spectre to really get.
And we even saw that down bottom just after Void got his what's their 2 upsons? Moonshard. Sorry. Just after he goes Moonshard and goes down bottom lane and completely dominated one solo, and then rest of the team came down and ended up wiping them out.
Yeah, again, that shows the sort of rotations of Dream weren't up to scratch in terms of the Vengeful Spirit. I think just ran there honestly, and then the rest of the team was split up, and then Beardman and Francine came around the side and flanked them, and I think 4 of their team died there,
Something like that. Yeah, just
and they were all over the place as well.
like you said, even in the draft phase, this entire game was about positioning, being in the right position at the right time. Would make the difference. And this year one here, you know, Bevan and Francine obviously had it. We could see that even when it came to rotations and that sort of thing, they were just on top of them. And yeah, it just ended up being a bit of a landslide. But that's it. But that being said, Bevan and Francine are a very good team at the moment. Checking their profile, they are at 85% win rate.
I mean, I think we're going to see them go, you know,
Yeah,
a fair way in this competition.
fair distance. I mean, they
if not close to the end.
even as unbelievable as it seems, they've even been clutch gaming themselves. I mean, it's just a tough
Unheard
thing.
of.
Absolutely unheard of. Don't know how they've done it, but
So they're going to get to the second round of the
Mhm.
playoffs, and Dream will drop down.
drop down to the lower bracket, and hopefully we can see from Dream maybe a comeback.
Yeah, they managed to take one game off Beardman. Oh, well, sorry, not one game off them, but came very close
Yes.
to doing that in the first game. So hopefully we see them doing quite well in the rest of the tournament. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now.
That's there and
Until next time.
Until next time. That's been Clutch Gaming bringing you this
Australian Dota 2 Premiership.
Exactly, and hopefully again we can see some good matches coming up.
Yep.
And we'll be hoping to custom. So I'm Captain King.
I'm Mads.
This is Foods.
Yeah, we are on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Australian time.
So we will see you then.
Radio. Cheers, guys.